I tweeted it out.
Also, I have the chapters.
Okay,
up,
I read them
so.
immediately when I finished catching up on. Oh, what the fuck was the one I Mission Yokozuna?
Mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read them after that.
And you also read Mitama.
Yeah.
Security Squad. It looked like.
Yeah, I read that one too. But I can pull up One Piece on my phone once I'll add you people in your Discord server now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet it too. You already did tweet it, you said?
Okay, there you go. Alright. I gotta open up the God, what wild chapters though.
Right? Well, like the newest one was fine, but
yeah, I mean
the other two, holy shit.
It was funny because I even like mentioned it. We even mentioned it yesterday when we talked for like a split second about it. How like the next one might just immediately go to the start of Act 3, and what do you know? This chapter started and it was the start of Act 3. What's up, Namaji?
We got a little flashback, Roger.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Odin.
That was actually, I think, that might be my favorite part of the last few chapters we've gotten. Which, like, I know is really dumb to say, but, like, I love seeing young Shanks, young Buggy, young Raleigh, like, I guess younger Raleigh.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that. Maybe we should start a quest first if you want to get the Wrathful.
Yeah.
Are you even in the squad session yet? Or are you still coming in?
Gotcha. I like just have my PS4 on like the startup screen until I got into the. What's up, Zad? What's up, Nun?
Because I was playing solo because, so apparently I've been playing for a little bit. Like I've already beaten the big ice boy that they like advertised the game, and then I've done one major quest after that. And apparently we've only like scratched the surface of the DLC, as we were told by someone else who has more time to play. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Yeah. And I just saw a monster who's another Elder Dragon, and he looks really fucking cool. But I haven't fought him yet. I just saw the cutscene, and I left so that I can, next time I actually want to do the quest, I can see it. It'll be, I don't have to watch the cutscene. I've already seen it.
Okay, watch the second half of the new Aikatsu series. Despite understanding next to nothing, you enjoyed it and can't wait for more subs and more episodes. Do you mean Friends, Zed? Sorry, that was someone in chat was saying.
Well, there's Friends is divided into Friends and then Kageyaki no Jewel, which is like only 26 episodes, and then now is the Aikatsu on Parade is starting.
Oh yeah, he said okay. He's talking about Parade.
So I'm not caught up to Friends yet. I just finished 21 today. It's really good. I like it. It's so. There was one episode where I like screen capped like 3 things before the opening even started. I'm like, I want to watch the episode. Stop giving me cute dumb faces to screen cap.
Yeah, that one that you sent me that was cool with the penguins was really good.
She's so stupid, and I love Ayane so much.
I have the squad session open now, by the way. Or no, I guess I joined yours.
Yes, you joined. Well, no, yeah, you joined the squad session, and I started it already. That's
okay.
Why. Yes, Ayane is a dumb baby, and I love.
Zad says he ended up with 1K or so screenshots for all of Friends.
I see. Yeah, like the fact that I'm taking screenshots at all is something I don't do. So, but there's too many. Like I mostly screen cap the stupid faces because there's a lot of stupid faces. Although there was one scene where I had to screen cap like a few scenes for context because it's like the Ayane had a sore throat, and so her friend went to the. Forest to get a good for your throat shroom. Like that's what the name of the shroom. That's what it was called. And so she's like, the good for my throat shroom was good for my throat. And I'm like, what is this show?
You sent me just that one thing where it was like, what was it? It was some like friendship.
Phrenergy.
Yes,
the main character. Yes, Ayane has access to Phrenergy. Like that's what the other character called it, and it's actually becoming a thing because.
Oh my god.
There was a competition, and the others didn't have enough Phrenergy. And it makes sense, and it's funny, and it's...
God. Sounds so perfect. I want to get to Friends, but I feel like I should watch all the Aikatsu series in order. Which really means honestly, I need to watch the second half of Aikatsu.
Yeah, well, the biggest issue I think is going back to the old CG concerts, because Friends is like the best looking one visually, and like the concerts are honestly like so good, like, and just even in just the regular part of the show looks really good. Um, and oh, it's funny, I advertised that we're talking about the One Piece chapters, but
I was about to say,
we
we should probably talk about One Piece while people are tuning in, because I think that's what most people want to hear. Yeah,
that's funny. Holy shit! Well, I did just upload an Icons video that has no views, so yeah, let's go. So, the first chapter was wild. It was probably my favorite of the batch.
I hate the first chapter because it left me with more questions about things, because I forgot some of it until I reread it. But oh yeah, math was on you, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm right next to Rathian.
Gabriel Wright Dunn says he watched the Aikatsu video.
Cool.
No, like, because like I just reread it, and I'm sure you did too. Like, it starts off before it even talks about abolishing the Shichibukai. It gives us the
government, the Garp talking with the fish, and then that was racist. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Well, yeah, it gives us the fucking, like, something happened with Vivi, something happened with Alabasta, or something happened with Sabo, and someone's dead.
Yes, well, so, like, yeah, Big News Morgan, he said, like, the results of the voting, like, that seems to be one of the front pages. So it looks like the other front page is something related to Sabo, because that's what people were reacting to, was the newspaper, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I'm assuming the voting results are one of the things, like, that he put, because he had two front pages. So one of them is probably the voting results, and then, because that's what people were reacting to, and the other was presumably, like, what happened to Sabo? Is he dead? Or presumed dead? Like,
but
it's so weird.
We also know something happened with Alabasta, because there was the thing that...
that's, because that's what, see, I'm assuming that's the assassination attempt. Like, it's possible that Cobra was killed, or died, because that could also be the obituary. Like, it's so weird to think of Sabo being dead, that I don't know.
But we know something's... I've heard someone say Sabo might be captured. Something's definitely up with Sabo, considering it cut to the revolutionaries all saying that...
Freaking out, yeah.
Yeah, they need to figure out what's up with Sabo, because
they can't believe
Morgans could be a liar.
True. Well,
even though Morgans was, like, the biggest chat of all time in that chapter.
Yeah, well, see, I think, because someone asked, like, why doesn't he just lie? But because he does have some level of integrity, because oh yeah, that's the other thing, is like this fucking goofy background character who's been in the series for literally hundreds of chapters, or he was mentioned in SBS like literal like 70 volumes ago, and he actually shows up in Enia's lobby with did you take off the lens cap with Sanji, and then now he either is being like someone's pretending to be him, or he was always like a secret agent the entire time, like. One Piece is so good.
Yeah, and then what else was there in the chapter other than the big thing that I'm sure we'll take?
Sword.
Sword.
The secret marine group Sword that
has
an on Kaido's crew. Well, so did you see the cover page from back? It was chapter 592. Did you see people posting that around?
No, I didn't.
So that's the cover page where it's got, you remember the cover page where it's got Akinu doing a bonsai tree, right? Yeah. So, he's got the Yakuza tattoos, and on his other shoulder, he has a tattoo of a sword.
Oh.
Yeah. So, because I mentioned it to you before, because I thought it was interesting, that, like, I did my Marine video, and then, like, literally 3 things in the chapter, like, feed into it in some way.
Yeah.
So Garp mentions, as long as blood isn't shed, I'd call that peaceful. Like, so right. To tie that to my video, that's, he does value peace. That like kind of confirms it more, and that he also like, because just as long as blood is shed, so what? Slavery is fine. No blood is being shed, right? Like they're just captured, right? So like that's why he's able to look the other way. God, these 2 chapters is so much for Garp, like, because that's one thing, and then there's stuff in the next chapter.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, there was also, he was talking about just the kings and how they'll like ally one moment, and then they'll like turn around and betray each other with a smile kind of thing, and he's like the comparison's I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be to the pirate alliances, pirate alliances, like, which goes into, because I was making the point about how like Big Mom runs her empire, and the government runs itself in kind of similar ways. Like they both offer tribute, they both like just offer protection. Like you have power, you control territory. Like it's the only difference is the world government is big, so they're the ones who get to decide who's pirate and who's and so that bit with the mentioning the kings and how they're just shitty to each other. Just it's how different is it really from pirates? So kind of going into that idea a bit. And then the other thing is I just think Sword is really interesting if it is in fact Akainu behind it, because that's interesting because people are, I've heard one theory that it's like good Marines trying to do good behind the scenes kind of thing, but like if Akainu is behind it, like even if that's why they're in it, like that's not necessarily it's Akainu. He wants to destroy.
Right. Well, also like the thing that came out to me is, and it could just be like a naming thing, but like if they're called Sword, that immediately made me go to like, this is obviously an arc that Oda wants to give Zoro a lot. So is there going to be someone in Sword that's like, like that, like something about Maybe. Sword being called Sword is related to being the strongest swordsman?
See, no, it's not. That's not it, because I don't think so, because Aegis, Cypherpole Aegis Zero, Aegis is shield. So you have Aegis, Cypherpole Zero, who protects the interests of the Celestial Dragons. They defend the world government, and then you have Sword, who goes to acts against pirates. So that's how I assume. Because,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and because it's Akainu, and I think it's interesting because the idea that I think is interesting is that Akainu is doing it with the higher ups don't know. Akainu knows. So it's and that's interesting because I think someone pointed out on my server that what was it? That the idea that the world government put Akainu in a position because they think he's a loyal dog, but while but he's also he just wants to destroy pirates. He destroy the enemy of the system, so he's more like a wolf, so to speak. So, so if he's doing Sword, then that's something outside of the jurisdiction of the government. Then that he's taking away good Marines for some greater cause. In this Drake abandoned the Marine. This is at least a 2-year-long scheme.
Right.
That possibly is being done without the government knowing about it. If that's the case, I don't think there was any hints of Rocinante being in Sword, for example. He was just a undercover Marine. So, I mean, maybe Oda could easily connect it, and that would be interesting too. But I just like that it's just that's more of a theory, but just and it fits with Akainu from what I know of him, or what we know of him rather. So I don't know. It was just sort of once I thought about Sword, I was like, okay, yeah, that was a good chapter because Sword is just really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And of course, it could go a completely different direction too.
Right. And then there's obviously the big thing.
The warlords, yes.
Yeah, so they abolished the Shichibukai, which is crazy just to think about, because that when you think about who all is one of the Shichibukai, I think Boa Hancock very obviously is going to become part of the fleet then.
Yes.
But even Buggy could.
I keep going the wrong way. Stop following me. I'm an idiot. See, Buggy, possibly. We'll see. I mean, I remember seeing this just that Mihawk's probably gonna go to Shanks.
Right.
What? I'm so fucking lost. Hold on, I'm just gonna go into my map and. There. Because you can set it I just set it to something, and remember we did it for the egg quest to the top.
Okay.
So now my glowflies are hopefully gonna take me there when I lost the glowflies now. I'm so fucking lost. This area is annoying sometimes.
Oh, I know where to go. I can get there.
But so yeah, Weevil's probably just gonna be independent. Though I still think I forget if I talked to you about it because I talked about it a lot. Because someone I think I had to point out to me that Weevil and Bakuin are kind of like a One Piece version of Majin Buu. Oh no, you don't really know Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah,
but Babidi and Majin Buu. Yeah, so never mind. But I don't know. I feel like Bakuin's, because I don't know. Weevil seems too good-willed to I can see him being an ally if he gets rid of Baku's influence, because he obviously he thinks blood matters, and that's kind of not the point of One Piece. So,
Right.
but he could be convinced otherwise. Like, it would be interesting if he was actually Whitebeard's blood son, but found a way to accept other, quote unquote family because that's what was important to his dad. So that would be interesting to explore if we see him. Or if we see that. I just think that'd be more interesting because I don't know what he'd do as an antagonist. Like, he fights Luffy and he loses, whatever. I don't know. But we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super interesting now because like, I mean, and it makes sense, and when I watched your Marines video, it made me think even more about like, obviously this is coming off the back of what happened with the fucking, oh my god, Dressrosa, right?
Yes.
And the fact that everyone was shown what Doflamingo did. And so like, it's just interesting to see, like, for me to think like, because not that any of the Shichibukai are on the level of the Yonko, but
yeah,
like, now there's a bunch more independent pirates that are also very strong out in the world, that are probably going to have the same goals or similar goals to what all the pirates have now.
Yeah, well, because like you said, yeah, that's why it's interesting to try and think of, like, Buggy, I have no idea what he's going to do specifically. Mihawk, Shanks is a possibility if he's going to ally, because, yeah, they could Weevil, independent. Kuma's already dealt with, basically. He's just a slave.
Right.
So, and I think, is that everyone? Who's left?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think, okay, so hold on, let me just count. Boa Hancock, Weevil, Mihawk, Buggy, that's 4. Formerly Law, Doflamingo.
I forgot Law
6.
was one, yeah.
Kuma. Yeah, because they
yeah.
never, okay, that was, so all of them are kind of, because, yeah, the Law and Doflamingo were never replaced because they just, ended the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, I completely forgot Law was one. Holy shit.
Right?
It's just been so long since I read that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that, it's just crazy to think that, like, I don't know. It really does make things feel like everything's kicking off at once. Because, like, obviously, by outlawing the Shichibukai, now the Marines, even more so than they already had, and the world government are taking a much stronger stance against pirates. So it's like, now I have no doubt in my mind is the Marines are going to show up at Wano in some case. Like,
I'm kind of curious as to who or what or how. Really,
right,
is the question. Because people have suggested, because like the Vegapunks might get involved, so people have suggested Smoker.
Yeah, well, like,
then
because
yeah, go on.
They don't know Luffy's there, right? But they know that Big Mom and Kaido are.
Drake knows. No, Drake knows.
Drake knows.
Drake
okay.
Drake said that he said that Luffy was still in Udon. They haven't heard about anything from there. So they know.
Well, because then it was weird. Well, I guess we can get to it when we talk about that, but we'll get to see. Namaja said, I'm excited because we'll see the Marines probably be scarier than they have for a while. Probably, yeah. Like, because when was the last arc? I mean, I guess they were kind of scary at, like, what, the end of Dressrosa a little bit, but...
Well, Fujitora had some presence because he's fucking Fujitora, He's
right.
The gravity shit with the meteors.
But, like, that's what I'm saying, is I think he was the only person that I would say had any kind of... Since the Paramount War, really.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see more.
Because Smoker was an ally
Marines.
and they haven't really had presence aside from Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. So, because Whole Cake Island was outside of the jurisdiction and now Wano is thus far. Well, because that's the thing. Like, what the hell? Where the hell are they going? Like, they're on something big. Like, we don't have the resources to divert to Wano. Like, they're on some like Paramount War level shit. Doesn't seem to involve any of the warlords at least, because they're already. I guess they're already doing that
Could
too.
it have been? Do we know what Shanks... they might have said, but I don't know if I remember. Do we know what Shanks is doing right now?
I do not believe so. He had the wedding, and he's just been dicking around. And because, like, there's something, like, Blackbeard's after, too, that the Marines are... Like, both of them are after something. So, I mean, it might be... It's possible that, like, the science squad has cooked up something, and Blackbeard's interested in it, too. Because that would be fucking wild if the Marines... like gave up the warlords, and then Blackbeard fucking takes the science thing that they got.
Yeah.
So then the government's just so fucked at that point because they just gave up all their a lot of their power. And then oh man, that would be interesting because Blackbeard, rereading that chapter just I don't think about it until reading the chapter, which I've now read 4 times. 3.5 times because I didn't actually finish this reread. But like that face Blackbeard's making is just like, oh fuck, it's Blackbeard. What's he gonna do?
Right. Well, that's like I think the biggest thing I have right now is that like I don't know I feel like outside of Paramount War, like, you know, Shanks has been really absent, I feel, for a lot of One Piece. And that has to end at some point.
Yes, Shanks has got to do something eventually.
And so like, I keep always trying to think, like, it's going to be Shanks, because, like, it has to be at some point.
Right, if you guess every time, you'll be right one time. Right? Is that it? Or...
well, kind of, but also because it's the Yonko saga, I feel like, you know, you can't have the Yonko saga and not have something happen with Shanks.
Right. Speaking of Shanks, well, I guess not speaking of Shanks, but because you we brought up Smoker for a bit. Smoker joins Luffy for sword and ends up staying.
Look, I was gonna ask if you were gonna bring up your that theory you told me that one time about Smoker joining.
Because that would be interesting. And also, some people suggest that Kuzan is on Blackbeard's group because also sword, which would be really interesting of him working with Aka Inu. I'm not sure if that's the case. That's slightly less likely, but both are interesting.
Holy shit! Oh my God, no! You fucking killed me.
No, you're alive. You're just on fire and poisoned, and I know I've life better.
Okay.
Oh no, you're dead.
I couldn't even move.
Nah, sometimes you just get fucked, and I didn't.
Yeah, that was one of those times. Wow. All right. I'm just on my way.
And here I was thinking this quest was too easy.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's okay.
So anyway, but yeah, the warlords are cool. I think that's most of what I had to say about that chapter. It was a good chapter.
I can't think of anything else. It's one of those things where it's like it's a crazy chapter just because of like
the possibilities it opens
up. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I will say Kobe got a promotion.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he's a vice admiral now.
No, he's a rear admiral when he was a captain before. Like he was literally a captain before Reverie, and now he's he was wait, was he a commander or a captain? Because if he was a captain, he went up 2 ranks. So
I don't remember. I think I might have seen it was captain, but I actually don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly either. I'm pretty sure it was captain. But anyway, because that's interesting. So because how I see it is, it's possible he got promoted for doing something at Reverie. Because Reverie had some wild shit going down, but if he had some exemplary service, then that's, promotion. Also, there's a tail drop, so in this area.
Yeah,
But what was I gonna say? And Rathos is flying all the fuck away. Holy shit! And what was I gonna say? Or it's also possible. I don't know if that this can happen, but it's possible that he has his public rank is captain, but his secret sword rank is rear admiral. Like he got a secret promotion basically, or I don't know. That's another thought that I had or saw.
I mean, it's possible that whatever happened with Sabo was Kobe that was the one who did it. Whether it was, I don't think Sabo's dead, but I think it's possible they might be saying Sabo's dead and instead have him captured.
That's possible. Yes, especially it is Morgan, so he might have taken a liberty, maybe there's a possibility of Sabo being dead, and Morgan's was like, no, he's actually dead, obituary,
Right.
And so that the world, that's why the revolutionaries are confirm it, because it's it is Morgan,
right.
But what's the thing that I get the assassination attempt they wanted to cover up, I suppose. That seems like the most logical thing that they wanted to cover up.
Yeah, well, that makes sense too, because even Smoker says to, Sabo got canceled for sexual harassment in the workplace. Because even, with the assassination attempt, Garp was worried about the image that it would cause whatever happened with Alabasti, who's worried about the image that it was going to cause.
Yes.
For
so that's
people on the surface.
assassination attempts would definitely affect their images the most, you know, as a government, because they're literally like backstabbing one of their own allies for. Was it because Cobra is spoken in about the Heavenly Dragons and the Void Century? Is it because like Iima had the picture of Vivi? Remember, he cut up Luffy at the bounty posters, and then he walked to the throne room where the elders were. He had Vivi's a picture of Vivi in his hands.
Right.
So like, what the fuck's going on? You know, like, and they asked about the life being snuffed out. So it's possible like they tried to assassinate Vivi. Because I don't.
Right.
Please don't kill Oda or Vivi Oda. Please, you can't
I'd be
kill
so
her.
sad.
And I fell. Don't follow
Okay.
me.
Namaji says, how do y'all feel about Blackbeard showing the recognition for defeating Kaido from Luffy by stealing the final blow? I feel like it'd happen for reasons if he comes to Wano.
I don't. Well, see, I don't see it because like Blackbeard and the Marines are fucking off from Wano right now. Like that's so it'd be kind of weird if he just showed up. That's like logistically, I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense right now. I mean, I don't know how long the arc is going to go on in universe-wise too, because like we've already had like a couple weeks pass, and that's like more time post times like
Right.
I think there's been like a month between like from Dressrosa to or the end of Dressrosa to now, where like Punk Hazard was like a couple. I don't know. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was pretty like. I don't know. It's.
I'm gonna hit my big hit on Rathalos.
Go right ahead.
Okay, let me make sure I get this. I think right here. No, that's too close. I think right here. That's too close. Fuck. There we go.
Boom. Nice. That was nice. So yeah, I don't have much else to say about. Oh yeah, the cover story. Capone and Lola was apparently in Dressrosa a couple days ago or something.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. That was cool.
Yep.
Okay, so then
That was a new one. I just skipped ahead, but that happened. So what's next chapter? Oh no, this one. So remember my theory about how maybe they'll reveal one Emperor bounty before each act and end off with no.
Yeah,
they just give us here. Have all the Emperor bounties and Gold Roger and Whitebeard too. Why the fuck not? So that was especially cool for me because I was reading weekly when the Emperors were first like name dropped.
Right.
Back in Enia's lobby, and so now I know exactly how big a deal. Like especially like because I was talking with Wet and I realized like you know I like how back after like Alabasta, like okay, Luffy beat one of the 7 warlords of the sea. You know, they're kind of a big deal. Like they're one of the 3 powers. And so that, you know, this brings up the question of like how strong is Luffy in the grand scheme of things. And so Oda answers the question. You know, he puts Rockstar on Whitebeard's ship, and Rockstar's like, oh yeah, my bounty, it's almost as much as Luffy's. I'm a hot shit, right? And Marco's like, I have never heard of you, like,
right.
And why the fuck would he? Whitebeard has a 5 billion berry bounty, so of course 10 million ain't shit. Man. Also, there was a lot of puns and stuff with the numbers. Like if the numbers looked random, like Shanks spells out his name. I think if you pronounce the numbers in a certain way.
Oh, that's funny.
And Gold Rogers is 10 times Ace's because Ace's former bounty was when he was alive 550 million, and Rogers is 5.5 billion.
Oh, that's cool. So someone asked
what Whitebeard's was.
Someone asked in chat. Any thoughts on what's going on with Hawkins and Law? I think Law's pulling a long con, and he's definitely gonna come in on the side of.
Like even if he is betraying, he's definitely gonna be on Luffy's side in the end. Like whether that means a sacrifice or, you know, like I don't see him being like a full traitor, and that's just the end of it. I mean, that would be interesting. I just don't see it. Law's been too good a boy so far.
Yeah, I don't think it would fit with what
bullshit.
Oda's been setting up. With Law, I don't think it would make sense for him to completely betray Luffy.
But that was a couple chapters ago. But yeah, he just like what the hell? Yeah, I don't know. This whole new chapter ended with just like, yeah, I'm gonna explain what happened next time. Wait 2 weeks, motherfucker. And it's like, fuck. Oh yeah, the other number things. Big Mom's bounty had 8-8, which can be read. I've heard both like haha and baba, which is like
right, yeah, like old hag.
Yeah, mom. Yeah, exactly. So and haha is like mother. She's Big Mom, and Kaido's it has the number 100 in it, which of course 100 Beast Pirates I think is the name of his crew, and then there's also I think if you again like Shanks says you read out the numbers a certain way and it spells like beast or something like that.
All right, I'm gonna grab
Gold
this
Roger.
last.
Oh yeah. So people are predicting that Luffy's final bounty in the series is going to be 5.6, which will be slightly higher than Roger's because surpassing the old generation, but also because it's Go Mu. That's how
that would be cool.
That's his element. Well, and someone pointed out, I didn't actually realize this, but it was pointed out because Katakuri's bounty 1,057,000,000, which is a little higher than Go Mu 56, and that I didn't know about. I never knew about that one. So basically, just from the bounty, Oda is putting Katakuri slightly above Luffy. So yeah, and but no, it was cool to see all the bounties. But that wasn't even the good part because we learned about rocks. Finally, so I could stop spelling his name with an X because that's how I've been spelling it because that's how Viz did it once, and I was like, that sounds cool, but no, it's rocks with as in rock band, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you gotten the mission yet?
I was doing my items. I'm grabbing the mission now.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, what'd you think about all the rocks lore stuff?
I thought it was cool. I love seeing. I don't know. I love seeing stuff I think it's. One of the most interesting things about One Piece is the fact that the government is just holding out information from people.
They covered up an entire one of the biggest players of the the time. That was it was recent too. This was only 38 years ago that the Valley, the God's Valley stuff happened. So
right. Well, and it's cool because when you look at it, of the current Yonko, right? Or I guess not of the, but of the Yonko is Blackbeard or Kaido and Big Mom were on Roxas.
You have to see a cutscene, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I gotta keep that. We're on, Roxas,
yes!
but then we had Shanks and Buggy and all these other people, Raleigh, that are important. Were on,
Not at the time, not 38 years ago, because Shanks was only 15 years old.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, he would have just been born, basically.
Well,
or he might.
But even then, you know what I mean,
Yeah, no, because that's the thing is that because here's another thing. I don't know if you noticed it, but they mentioned that the Rocks Pirates formed on the same island that Blackbeard is stationed at. Mm-hmm. But there was another detail that people have pointed out is Rocks Zebek, Blackbeard's ship was called the Sword of Zebek, or the Saber of Zebek. So we don't know what it is, but Blackbeard has some connection to rocks, and that also means that Luffy versus Blackbeard is the inherited will of Roger versus the inherited will of Rocks. So it's continuing and also it seems Rocks was after the Heavenly Dragons on this island that's been erased from history. So that implies or there was a line in the Viz chapter he broke too many of the world's taboos. So that implies that he's in on the Void Century shit, and so is Luffy and Roger. So it's ooh.
Yeah, I had one thing about this chapter I did want to bring up. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. So I had one thing about this chapter I wanted to bring up, which was that I know it probably was because it didn't matter at the time, but it was weird to me that the Marines were talking about the Yonko, but didn't bring up Luffy at all, even though at the end of Whole Cake, it was a big deal was made of the fact that Luffy is now seen as the 5th emperor.
How I think what I thought about that is I think that the people generally speaking see Luffy as that because I mean are there we've seen Queen is the highest non-emperor bounty we've seen right now and it's still lower than Luffy, so it's and Luffy is definitely notably lower than the emperors, but how many other pirates are that high?
Right. And because none of the Shichibukai, we didn't see anyone who was over 1 billion until we saw Katakuri
and Jack. Well, Jack first, I think we got. Yeah, Jack was exactly 1 billion, so he was the first one, and then Katakuri Curry, and now Queen, and then Luffy, of course. So,
Right.
so I mean, I guess even if there are like lieutenants, like if King has 1.7 or something like that, like he's still just a lieutenant. He can't be like, but but Luffy's is still like, he's probably like the highest bounty of a pirate, except for the Emperor's, and that's that as a leader is what I mean. Which is, and of course there's the story of Morgan's, like how many guys have just fucking like gone into the Terry and Emperor and fucked it up. Like even Roger didn't do so much damage. Like he did, like Big Mom said he like stole the Rio Poneglyph, or he stole the rubbing of it. Like he didn't fight Big Mom or Katakuri, because Katakuri hasn't lost before. He never. So in other words, if he fought a Roger pirate, he kicked their ass.
Right.
So it's like. I mean, it was 22 years ago, so he would have been younger, but he was still, because he was alive in the time of Rock, like 38 years ago, I'm pretty sure. I don't forget how old he was, but, or at least when the Rock's pirates were around. So, I think it would have been like 10, so I think he's like 40 something, but yeah. So yeah, like, so it's understandable the public sees it that way, but I don't think they see Luffy as that yet.
I'm in the quest, by the way, so I don't know when you can watch.
Yeah, I know.
Join in. Okay.
I'm waiting. I'm just on the screen. But yeah, no, like and it was, like I said, it was also interesting for Garp because like we've known that he's never wanted to be an admiral, but now we know why, because he doesn't. Because admiral, like even from what we know, like the admirals have to protect the heavenly dragons when one of them gets attacked, and Garp wouldn't even, like no, he hates the heavenly dragons, and also he is a D, and even the one that's on the side of the government doesn't like them, so. Interesting.
Okay, I think you should be able to join now.
I can join. Yes.
Okay, cool. You should catch up, Zed. Now would probably be a great time to catch up. In all honesty.
Oh yeah, because it's it's right. Like Act 3 just started, but so.
Yeah.
Of 1-0.
But yeah, I mean, I just think one of the best parts about One Piece is just all of the backstory in the world. And
it is. Well, see, yeah, I agree, but also like you're getting people who are saying like, oh man, One Piece is better when it's not about the main characters. Like,
well, that's also wrong. But
like I don't think, like, I like these 2 chapters, but like rereading, like I thought the stuff in the prison with Luffy was easily better. Like,
yeah, well, like
those were way better chapters.
It's funny. I was thinking about One Piece earlier. I think it was because I watched your Marines video earlier, and then it got me thinking about one of my favorite moments, and I wanted to talk about it. So it got me thinking about when Luffy punches the Celestial Dragon on.
Yes, Charlos. Yes.
Right, and so I realized like the part that I actually love about that scene isn't when he punches the Celestial Dragon. It's the part where all the Straw Hats just go, well, it's Luffy, so what are you gonna do? Like Zoro has his sword out and was about to slice him, and like. Everyone's like, aren't y'all upset that Luffy did that? And they're like, no, that's Luffy. Like, we wouldn't be following if he wasn't the kind of person who would do that. And it's just like the way the Straw Hats follow him. Like, I don't know. Like, that's part of the reason I love it.
Like, they know Luffy. They're like, yeah, they kind of saw that, it's like they didn't want it to happen, but it's like, and also they do have that attitude of like, what can you do? Like, yeah, Luffy attacked literally like one of the most important men in the world. What are they going to do? Cry about it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's
so,
just like
There's because like another you just bring up that moment because I also like because Hachi like grabs Luffy and tries to stop him because an admiral's gonna come
right.
But Luffy does it anyway. He doesn't care. Like he knows how strong the admirals are, but it's like he's not gonna let someone strong get in the way of what he wants to do. He never has.
Well, the first thing he does immediately after that is he says. He literally apologizes to all the Straw Hats. Like, oh, sorry guys, now an admiral's gonna come.
Yes, it's so like, Luffy's so good. And I was opening up my Luffy video basically saying like this shit is interesting because the Sabaody is some of Luffy's like my favorite character stuff for him because like why he made the choices he did and like thinking about what because Luffy's like we don't get that internal stuff, so I have to think the audience has to understand Luffy, and it's not like he's complex, but like the audience has to put in the work because when he does something that seems contradictory, because again, like I point out in my Luffy video, Luffy doesn't run away from like strong opponents, and yet he does that at Sabaody. He sees the Pacifista and Sentomaru, and he runs away. Like what's different about that compared to like Aokiji, and
right.
That's what that whole video was, because it's really interesting to think about, because he's such a good fucking character.
Well, there's also Okay, we should probably, before we just talk more general One Piece, which we will, we should get to today's chapter.
Well, did we? I'm trying. Oh, because like I mentioned it to you yesterday, but Sengoku ending off the chapter with talking about how like you know, all these emperors have connections to Wano. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sengoku, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that was definitely like kind of a wink at the audience that like, hey, Wano is really important.
Yeah, well, cause like, and I think what happened, especially when I thought about that, I like, even as hype as Reverie always is, I had just a moment of like, you know, I wouldn't mind going back to Wano right about now, cause I want that shit to get going, and I want this shit to be. I'm looking forward to the rest of the arc, cause Oda, like, see, cause like, you know, Kaido, we don't know much about him yet. He was in Princess Pirates on Rock's crew. He wants to kill himself. He's a guy. He's a dude. He's doing a thing. But in like I love in Thriller Bark with Mori. I don't know how to get to the top either. Oh no, they're doing stuff. Never mind. I don't have audio, so I only just noticed the commander in the corner talking about. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Because like the Doflamingo flashback was really great for establishing like the context of his whole character. And you know what that, and of course that ties it a lot into the arc in general. Like and Moria, it was fucking literally just a few lines of dialogue, and it did so much for his character. We have friends. But
the shit.
Yeah, so you can use your slinger to. Oh yeah, do you have? I don't have slinger ammo. But do you have slinger ammo loaded? Okay. Gotta find some. Or I guess
yeah, I mean,
what was I saying? Totally forgot. Nergigante came and broke my attention.
Broke mine. Someone said they wouldn't mind the Navy showing up at Wano in chat. I agree. I mean, I definitely think they will show up in some capacity. Considering they even had conversations about Wano and that, like, they know shit's going on, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Navy made an appearance. Well, because, okay, wait, you started that off talking about, how they mentioned how important Wano was.
Yes. Oh, Kaido's backstory.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious because like Gecko Mori was, you know, his relevance to like why he had zombies, you know, how he tied to like contrast to with Brook, and just the general like themes of Thriller Bark and stuff. Like, just a couple lines where he and even his whole like do-it-yourself motto like ties it into like how the fight ended. Like, so much, like, literally just because of a couple lines. So I'm just like wondering what we're gonna get for Kaido, especially because like after the growing up video, I feel like you know, all the big antagonists so far, especially like the leader figures, are probably gonna get like we're gonna see their childhoods, you know.
Right. I mean, yeah, like we've seen Big Moms.
You know, we've seen Akainu and Blackbeard as kids in the SBS. They seem to have suffered quite a bit. So what's their deal? You know, and you know, Kaido, I don't see why he would be different, especially with like. He seems to have been hated like probably his entire life, you know. He's probably, you know, and that like he wants to kill himself, like, but not a great life, you know. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see what Kaido's backstory is.
Right.
So that's one thing to look forward to. And then, there's also the debt with Big Mom, that Odin and Wano. Like we've seen Odin yet. Like we've seen him in silhouette, like he doesn't want to show off his appearance yet for some reason. So I'm curious as to why that is.
Oh, someone said
like,
in chat, and the fact that Kaido doesn't seem to be viewed as human as well.
Yes. So. That's right. The one page. It was a couple chapters ago with the number where I think with all the Oni looking dudes. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So. I mean, maybe they're family when it comes to Kaido. So. there's just so much, I don't know, so much to look forward to. Like the Reverie stuff is cool, and
Yeah,
it just a
Wano
lot
is
of
nowhere close to being done.
No, well, because I mean, Act 2 alone was exactly as long as the Paramount War, the entire like.
Jesus Christ, was it really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know if that's like Paramount War, like the war part of the war and the flashback.
Okay, I didn't think about
I don't know what it was, but it's still, yeah, it's long.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, cause yeah, Gaiji Goopa did a video on Oni, and that brought up some interesting ideas in my head about Kaido. I think you said it on Crafts Discord.
I feel like I heard something because someone was pointing out like because there was the SBS question from a while ago that pointed out that the main three admiral, like on the Chinese zodiac, the pheasant, or the rooster rather, the monkey and the dog are on the opposite side as the bull and the tiger, who are, you know, Ryokyugu and Fujitora. And someone suggested that like maybe they're both gonna have anti-government ideas instead of pro-government. Where like even Aokiji, even though he has a lot of doubts and stuff, he's still pro-government ultimately. At least he was before the time skip. Like we don't know what his deal. Like, you know, I mean that would be maybe why he's into sword and stuff. But
right.
If he is, so to speak, I doubt that. But what I was gonna say was I lost my train of thought again.
It was about Kaido being Oni.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. Because, the tiger and the bull are, like, they're associated with Oni because bulls have horns and Onis are often seen wearing, like, tiger stripes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, which is why they're, like, negative on the Zodiac, I imagine. So I don't know if that's gonna have a connection to Kaido, because he's definitely got an Oni motif going on if he's not literally an Oni, you know, because he's not human. So because I've heard people suggest he's a dragon who ate the Oni fruit, or he's an Oni that ate the dragon fruit. So yeah, God knows what his deal is.
Apparently, the direction in general is associated with Oni as well.
Okay, interesting. Oh, probably because of Momotaro. Like, oh, the Oni are in the mountains too. I think it was east. I think. So maybe that's right. Was it east? Who's because there's also the Saint Beasts, or the dragon, the phoenix, the tortoise, and the tiger. Like, did you watch Digimon, specifically Tamers?
I haven't seen any Digimon, so.
Beyblade, the original series, no.
Maybe as a kid, but I don't remember it.
Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah, because there's the first guy who Kurama fights is a turtle. The second guy who Kuwabara fights is a tiger. The third guy who Hiei fights has like a dragon thing going on, and Suzuko's like a bird because he's a phoenix. Those are the four like saint beasts, which in Chinese, in Chinese they're you know, motif thing. They're tied to the cardinal directions, and also I think some elements, but I don't know which ones because I've heard conflicting things, like different materials, you know, change it. So what I was gonna say about that was for Saint Beasts. What were we talking? Oh, that's right. Yeah. So if Tiger's the one I'm thinking of and he's east, then that might be why, like, that direction, because that's like I said, Tiger is associated with Oni. So
right.
Maybe that's part of why that direction, that's the thing for that specific one. So just a thought.
So is that just about all we have for the chapter before the most recent one?
I'm trying to think. I think so, because it was really cool. But oh no, there was one little bit, because it started out with the Fujitora Akino conversation, where Fujitora was talking about how, like, Akino was fine with the sacrifice being made for the warlord system because he was never one of the sacrifices himself. And Akino gives like a kind of like you know, it's a ellipse in like but in like a jagged panel, like he's like grunting in anger or something like that, like, or he's tense, or like, so there's, you know, the possibility that like Fujitora just like fucking owned him. Like that's a thought I had. But another thought I had was that, like, what if Akainu was at some point in his life a sacrifice, but he's still in line with the government anyway, and like legitimately, like that's interesting. That was just an interesting thought, because like that would be like 100% to his ideals if he was fine with sacrifice, because at one point in his life he himself was sacrificed.
Right.
And he's like, you know, if, like, well, like one thing I thought of for some reason was kind of like, for some reason I guess it's similar to Gon, where it's like, you know, Gon was left and he's like, man, if my dad left me to be a hunter, then being a hunter must be pretty cool. So what if Akainu is kind of like that, but, you know, like, but with sacrifice, where it's like, you know, oh, if the government was willing to sacrifice me for whatever reason, then they must have had a very, very good reason. So he like goes along with that. So, well, because like I feel like everyone's expecting him to be victimized by pirates, like, because we saw him as a kid. He's like all fucked up. He's angry. He's got a marine hat on and a knife. Like it's something horrible happened to him as a kid. And, you know, pirates is definitely like the reasonable option, but I just thought that panel made me think of another possibility. Yeah, I'd be satisfied. I'd love to see his backstory regardless, because Akainu is super important going forward.
Right. Yeah.
So. Yeah. But I forget if there was anything else in the chapter to bring up.
I can't think of anything, and I would say I can look through it, but we're
we're a little busy. Yeah, we'll talk about the newest chapter, and then I'll look through the chapters in between quests, because you got a lot of.
Yeah, I'm sure I have a lot of cutscenes to do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we
already. That was easy.
Oh shit, is that actually it?
Yeah, that was it. I got, well, because for me, I just got the quest clear screen, so I'm just like, my character's grabbing a cannonball, and it's just like, here, have 2 Zora Magdaros gems, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll take them.
Yeah, I'm watching a whole cutscene. Okay, so the newest chapter started with the flashback, right?
Yes, with Roger and Odin. So, what did you think? Well, because it was cool seeing them on just chilling on the ship, and Odin being a bro crewmate, you know.
Right. Well, there was even the part where, like, here's something I just thought of, right? That might come back specifically with the people that they mentioned, right? So, when you think about the people that, like, both Shanks and Buggy said that they would do anything for Odin if Odin asked. I literally just had that thought, but, like, I could see, like, something going on where if they find out what's going on in Wano, maybe even Buggy, you know.
That would be cool if fucking Buggy of all fucking people comes to Wano with his fucking armada of pirates.
Right, because, like, they've already, you know, pledged their allegiance to, we will do what we can to help you. And so I could see that even being how Shanks works his way over to Wano or something, is because for, you know, even if it was just Buggy with his armada, that would solve the number conflict that's going on right now, as opposed to the fleet showing up. If Buggy and all of his troops show up, that would probably even the difference between what the Straw Hats and Heart Pirates have.
Yeah. That would be cool, because I hadn't thought about that. Because what I was thinking about themes, I'm broken, but because like Odin said that he didn't want to, like, he's trying to open Wano's borders, but he wants to do it alone with the people of Wano.
Right.
So he's like refusing outside help. Like he's doing, you know, he's not relying on others, which has been Luffy's whole character arc, and he's doing it like he's trying to do something internally without outside help when he ultimately wants to open up to the outside, you know.
Right.
So like
Buggy and Shanks crossing paths again, says Linmon.
That
Shanks' crew would probably tip the scales considerably. What I'm saying is, like, if Buggy shows up, even Shanks wouldn't have to show up, and I think Buggy's
I'd
crew
probably be either or, not
right. Yeah,
both.
I don't think it would be both, but I could definitely.
And if even like Buggy seems more likely, because Shanks is he's too big a player to just like show up. I think because especially in the Four Emperors saga, like what how is it gonna, like, it just seems weird. Like I mean, maybe that would be no, Luffy's not gonna meet Shanks until, like, I don't know. I've said it before. It's fucking weird to me how Shanks is the most mysterious. Like, he's more mysterious than Dragon at this point. Like, we get Dragon.
We've known, like, Shanks is literally one of the few characters in One Piece we've known since chapter 1.
Yeah, and we don't know jack shit about him. Like, he's from the West Blue. He was on Roger's crew. That's it. Like why? Like, what? Why was he in fucking Reverie? Why was he at Murajoa?
Right, exactly. Like, I think if Shanks doesn't have anything to do with the Yonko saga, Shanks gets his own arc dedicated just to him. I think Shanks should get his own arc dedicated to him anyways, but
yeah. I'm looking forward to Shanks' content.
I liked seeing Shanks wear the straw hat as well.
Oh yeah, how this? I'm looking forward because like it's been building up literally since chapter 1, but what's it's so
So yeah, the flashback
Shanks.
was really cool. A small thing I wanted to mention about the chapter, that, like, I'm sure it's been there. I know it's been there previously, but I don't think it hit me as hard kind of as this one did, because since the last time it would have happened, we did a lot of talking about, you know, the Kabuki play structure.
Yeah.
Was like, there were like little things that were like, I was noticing that kind of made it feel like, you know, before the curtains opened, we saw people playing instruments.
Yes. Well, he's been doing that since the beginning.
No, and I know he has, but it's probably something I just didn't notice. And I you know, it's something I should have probably noticed, but, you know, sometimes when the chapter comes out, you just want to read it and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because there was instruments at the start, like, I think, of the arc, because one of the first things you see in the arc was Komurasaki with her mask playing the, I don't know how to pronounce the instrument, but, like, I didn't see the act theory until, like, literally, like, the last chapter when the Straw Hats saw that the kid was, or that Luffy was captured, and they did the 3 ha's, because that's, like, the middle part is ha ha ha, is, like, that's why it's 5 acts, because the middle acts are all each called ha, because you only saw 3 reactions. You only saw Usopp, Frankie, and Robin. Not like Zoro did the same face, but he didn't do it in that chapter because we were only supposed to get 3 of that ha, you know. So it's, which is, you know, the fun, because that's what the middle acts are called, but also they're like ha, because they're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So that's where I saw the act structure. So you know, after that I was noticing it, obviously, but
I was just gonna say, like, it isn't a big deal. I really like the little, like, it's like those little things as a play, you know, like the narration as it opens feels like something you would see in a play. Like like in this chapter, it hit me, I think, more than it does other, and I think it is, you know, a lot because it was the first chapter of this act. But like, even like the way this chapter was kind of structured, where like at the very beginning, where like it kind of has like a few small places it shows, and it's like characters stating what's going on, was very like play-like in how it was playing out.
True.
I gotta do an expedition. The fuck.
Yes, I know. Like, I can just chill if you want to do the whole thing, but because you fight a high rank monster.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
It won't be.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I really love all those little things, and I think I should have noticed them. And then I guess now we can talk about then what happened after that. So it was we saw what are they called? The Samurai Boys, but I don't remember what their like official name is.
Red Scabbards.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We saw the Red Scabbards, and they were at like the ocean.
The dock.
The dock. Yeah. They couldn't get across, which I loved that spread where it was them standing there and you could see the water, and it was like,
yes,
and like what they were
Okiko
trying to get
fucking,
to was,
and his
so
fucking Okiko had their samurai armor and it was looking cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a good spread. And look, I'm someone who will call a lot of Oda's art messy. I don't think that spread was messy. I thought it was really clean and really good.
I'm someone who will cut people who call Oda's art messy.
Well,
you're gonna die, Vindy. You're gonna fucking die.
Look, I definitely think in recent times, compared to how it used to be, he's become averse to the idea of negative space. And that makes me sad, because like that's one of my favorite parts about Bleach is the use of negative space. You know, one of the everyone agrees, like one of the best spreads in One Piece. You know, a man's dream will never die is like all negative space. And like, look, the Katakuri fight is also my favorite fight in One Piece. Like, I love that fight. But I do think it's, it's a fight that has very little, like it's all, like the backgrounds are drawn in, and there's, like, detailed sound effects on, like, every page, so it just becomes kind of a thing.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'll just investigate for now, I guess. Oh, shit, cactus. Ow, what the fuck?
They're so fast, right?
No, I hit him and he started spraying shit at me. I owned crafts on One Piece. I don't think that's true. But okay, yeah. So, God, I completely, because we're at the point now where, like, I just want to get to this, like, I want this this big, operation that's been being set up for 2 acts now to start.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm curious as to what actually happened. Like, because Orochi did some, because he figured it out. He got information from somewhere,
Right.
and because a storm is brewing, and at first I thought Big Mom maybe, like, if it's not natural, because I did mention the weather in Wano, but like Big Mom, but she doesn't have Zeus, so I don't think she could cause a storm.
She still doesn't have Zeus. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But at the same time, so apparently in the SBS, Kaido flies. He doesn't really fly. What he does is he creates clouds, and he float, he holds onto the clouds basically. So he does have some. So that implies some kind of weather manipulation ability. So it's possible that he caused the storm too. Because I think that wasn't there. It was really dark when he first showed that awesome fucking spread where Dragon Kaido first showed up. That was so cool. I think it was dark. I remember it being dark.
I think it was. Yeah. It was, because it was kind of like it was extra spooky.
Yes. So I don't know if it was just.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if it was just extra spooky or if he's actually creating clouds to blot out the sun.
Right.
So because it's possible that the storm was not natural but man-made.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm interested in what happened, and I mean, obviously, Diablos, I don't want to fuck with you. You're obviously not what I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that shit that's I'm just really curious to see what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is the newest chapter was only 14 pages, and it's basically just wait and see what happens, but not as much into there's not nearly as much to speculate on as there was with the sword reveal or
right.
all the lore drop that fucking rocks connecting to fucking Blackbeard. That's kind of insane. Is out of 6 emperors there have been, 4 of them have a connection to rocks and 2 of them have a connection to Roger. Right.
That's what I was trying to say, is that all of the emperors have a connection to one of these 2 pirate giants. Yeah.
And from a whole era that's been erased from not quite erased, but rubbed out definitely a bit. It's characters actually know things about it and aren't being executed, unlike the Void Century. So it's not as erased, but it's very cool. It's pretty because 38 years ago is fairly recent. Because he even said if you were alive at the time, you knew. So all the old characters, Dr. Kureha would have, she knew about Goldie. She people would have known that of this battle between Goldie, Roger, and or this rival of these 2 big pirates with D initials,
Right.
So because Kureha did, she knew about he was Goldie, Roger.
Oh shit! Is it a Rathian? Is it Rathian Altar? Wait, why the fuck is Okay.
It's a monster that's not normally in this one.
Yeah, now Pookie Pookie's here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can join now if you wanted to.
I'll try, but you're not in an actual quest.
I'm not, even though it's telling me to hunt this man?
No, you have to. You can leave. Did you get it? Did you?
Oh yeah, it says I can abort it. Okay, I'll just abort it.
Yeah. So you can then you can post the quest and we can go in at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm so excited to see Wano play out.
Yes,
it's
gonna be cool. Like, and yeah, there's so much possibility because that's what I think. I forget if I've talked about this with you before, but like, because like especially like I feel like seinen are more like, minimal. Like they just like they focus on their one theme and they go really into it and such.
Right.
But then like, but I just like shonen in general because they're more maximal. They have a lot of moving parts, which
Right, well,
allows
like-
them to play with more ideas. Or what were we gonna say?
Yeah, well, it's cool because like there's the three pillars of Weekly Shonen Jump, right? What is it? It's friendship, hard work, and victory.
Friendship, effort, victory. So yeah.
Yeah.
Basic,
And like it's cool because like they all have that, and then they have their own individual parts, right? That like everything in Shonen Jump has friendship, effort, and victory in it as like a theme. But then also like you look at Naruto and there's themes of understanding.
conflict, compromise.
Right. As well as
then,
those three added in. So they always have all of them, and it's so cool to see.
Yes, and it is really interesting to see how different, like even comparing how Fairy Tail and One Piece have the familiar themes, like the groups, it's still like really different, and they have different ways that they talk about, So it's I don't know, and I mean two different magazines obviously, but still.
Right.
So yeah, it's neat because and that's what's interesting because it's like it's really hard to predict what will happen because there's so many moving parts in One Piece especially that it's like anything could happen and you just like yeah, I guess so, that happened, like it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it definitely there's so much like.
Because like okay, how many like we've talked about like the Marines getting involved. Shanks, Buggy, the Luffy alliance, like that's a lot of different players that can come in, reasonably speaking,
Right. And I mean, One Piece, One Piece does have more going on than most.
Yeah, well, it's had 950 chapters to build up to it, so, like. So One Piece is pretty good. It's okay. I like it.
It's okay. One Piece is okay. Quote Craftsdwarf.
Exposed by myself.
Okay, do you want to talk about the two shorter? Like
yes, because you caught up to Mitama's Security, and
Mission Yokozuna family.
Yes. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I have more to talk about Mission Yokozuna family because spoiler alert, I liked that one a lot more.
Yeah. Well, what did you think about Mitama's Security then?
I mean, I definitely because that was the one you were saying was just like a gag manga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Where like, I think it's like it's fine. I could see it going for a long time. I think the one gag.
I could see it getting or what? What's that?
Oh, I just say the one gag that really got to me in the first. So, by the way, nothing we're gonna say is gonna spoil this if you haven't read it. It's 5
a gag
chapters.
Manga.
It's a gag manga that has 5 chapters out.
Right.
But there was like the one gag that was like, what was it? Like, it just made me laugh because it was like, okay, it was when it was the basketball spirit in the school, and like in a lot of manga like this, the girl would just automatically follow the guy character as he goes to take care of it, right? And it made me laugh that he was like, I want you to follow me. Because normally you don't see that. They just like, okay, I'm going to come with. I'm the girl, I'm going to watch you fight. But he's like, I want you to come with me. And she's like, what?
Why?
And then I did enjoy the chapter as well with the
cute ghost.
Yeah, the cute ghost spirit who is definitely gonna be a character that comes back considering she got a face. I definitely expect that to become like
a cute face too.
Yeah, well, I definitely expect like some spirits getting faces and being less spirits or something to be a part of the series moving forwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I did also like the gag where she was so depressed she was trying to like make herself pass on, like kind of like ghost suicide, like because she's already dead so she can't kill herself, but
right, so, like she could move on. Yeah. That was funny. Like she was like diving
into the priest chanting so that she could get purified or whatever it was. Like
yeah, it was enjoyable. Like I don't think it was like the best thing I've ever read, but as a gag manga, I'll read it every week. Like, it was fun.
Right, that's exactly how I feel about it. Like, you know, I probably wouldn't have read it if not for that I was trying to catch up in everything and Jump, but because I am reading it, it's like, yeah, I'll get a couple chuckles every week. Why not? There's no reason not to read it.
Yeah. I'm not I mean, I assume it'll get, I'm sure, like, wait.
Well, I think I've never, he just turned around.
Oh.
He's an asshole. But like I can't usually, like 3 volumes seems to be average. I think I'm sure there's some that are 1 or 2 volumes, but like that's got to be sad if you only get 1 volume. Like,
Right.
But I should have brought antidotes. I'm an idiot. Oh, hello, Rafi.
Oh, okay, Rafi. Wrapping still. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree where it's like, I don't think it's like amazing. I'm interested to see when it gets, because like obviously since there is like, you know, since fighting is a part of the manga, I expect to 100% get like more serious arcs.
Yeah, possibly.
And I'm interested to see them, but at the same time, I'm not.
I'm kind of. Right. I kind of have no expectations regarding that. Like, I'd rather just say the goofy, because I like that aspect, and I don't know if it would be good at anything. I mean, maybe it'll surprise me. Like, because it, like, see, it's interesting because like of all the stuff I've read, this is like the one that's most obviously by a new like creator, so to speak. Like, I think Beast Children was when I checked up, and I don't think the author had anything else to their name, and I was like, this doesn't seem like a newbie manga. So, but me and Tom, it definitely feels like that.
I could definitely see, like, if they do another manga, I would be more curious to see what they move on to. Well, that's what's so interesting about, like, reading a new manga to me, like, that's, like, 5 chapters in, is, like, I read these, like, I'm reading these premises, and it just makes me think of, like, the premises they come up with in Bakuman, where it's, like, you know...
Yeah,
I could see these going on, but I don't know if I would see them going on for too much longer. You know what I mean? Like, when they're very short, I can definitely see them going either way.
Yeah. It's neat. And like you said, Jump, you can read everything right now.
Right.
So it's like, what, you know, you don't know what to expect. I have not read the new Chainsaw Man yet, because I'm just going to wait for the Viz release, by the way.
Okay. Alright, it's pretty good. There were some good moments in it. There's some stuff that has me more excited. Like, there's some more of like Denji just being like.
Denji.
Yeah.
Because then
almost like you know.
Last chapter I watched, or the last chapter I read, there's the girl in the cafe who's like, he's like, oh shit, I might fall for this girl, and part of me is like, well, it's not. I don't think it's gonna last. But the other part of me is just wants to see how it unfolds because it's Denji and he's a good idiot, and he's awful and he's great.
The worst part about the newest chapter was that Power had like background of a panel and that was all she was in it, and that made me sad.
Tragic.
But besides that, yeah, like I thought it was fine. But the one I honestly have more to say about is the Mission Yokozuna family, because I actually, even though it only has 6 chapters out, I really enjoyed it. Like, I was surprised how much I liked it.
And the last chapter had a big character moment. But what did you think of the series overall? Because like, there's obviously like a bunch of siblings and stuff that we're gonna hope, if presumably the series continues, you know, we'll see screen time for. Eventually.
I like the guy with the big bucket on his head. He's funny.
Big Brother's probably my favorite character because like this last chapter he was like, I'm having sister withdrawals, and that's like relatable.
I even liked that, you know, when he saved the little girl, he's like, yeah, like I probably agree with that choice, but are you prepared for the The only thing I didn't like was that, like, you know, he even asked him like, are you prepared for the consequences this will cause? But it ended up being a good thing that they saved her. Which I felt was kind of like, it's fine. Well, it's not the end of the world, but I always like when it's like, you know, okay, now they're in a much worse situation. Like, I would have liked if they were in a much harder situation for him at the same time.
See, I actually do. Well, I mean, because obviously they're rewarding the character moment, but I actually do. Oh shit! Sorry, the big Apsaros came out of nowhere. That surprised me. But what I was gonna say was, well, it made sense as to like why the girl, like, because obviously she saw the girl, and then like a witness better sell her into slavery, you know?
Right.
And then so it's like there's a reasonable cause and effect as to what happened, basically.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it like
yeah,
was
so
dumb and came out of nowhere. It's just like
yeah.
I'm a big fan of like when characters
Yeah.
do something that like should have like a negative consequence, they face that negative consequence,
Yeah.
even if what they do is technically the right thing.
See, well, like, because like I mean, because yeah, there's like the consequences thing, and then there's obviously the character mode of just doing the right thing, which was being rewarded. So it's like I'm wondering if we're gonna get like a little bit of both. Like it's harder in some ways, but they do have this big tip, so it's like you know it's not all consequences basically.
Yeah,
so
I think that's probably the best way to do it.
yeah, because like yeah, that's something I've noticed in like Madoka is a good example, I think, because like they'll do like you'll have things where like thematically a choice a character makes it folds positively into one theme but negatively into a different theme, so you have a choice that has a mixed outcome or so to speak. So like that's probably the ideal way to do something like that, because it adds more like it like it's interesting to see the ideas layered together like that. So but yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I like the chapter with the arsonist who is like constantly tweeting like, oh, I guess I'm gonna like the fucking at the end of the chapter.
And I mean, I like that, like, yeah, like he made the decision to jump out to save her.
Yeah.
I mean, I also like series like one of the things I'm most excited about to keep reading the manga for is the romance, because like, I think there another manga that just ended recently that I love about it was Boarding School Juliet, where is another manga where the main characters start their relationship in chapter 1 even if they aren't. In Boarding School Juliet it's a little different, but it's like I like when characters start their relationship early on in a manga even if they're not completely ready for it, as opposed to okay, we're gonna watch them.
Are they? Will they? Won't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think it's more interesting to watch with the way that it is in this, where like they're married from chapter 1.
Right, or they're engaged. I think it was, or what? Are they married or?
I think it just like is like a marriage. Like I think the way that they framed it was that it wasn't the registry, but in the eyes of the family they're married.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, sorry, it's been okay. See, my thing is that like I did read it recently, but I also read like 5 other series that are also like short, and so like. I didn't retain as many details, I'm sure. Even though
I literally was reading it while waiting in line at dinner to like order our food. So it's
you just read it, and I read it like a week or so ago, and like I had a bunch of other stuff that I also kind of remember. But yeah.
And I know that a large part of the reason I enjoyed the manga so much does come down to my me being weak to just typical shonen and like jump shit. Like the moment when he opened the lock on the bathroom and they all lifted him up and were supportive of him was one of those moments where I was like, yeah, that's like really good. Like I liked seeing the family all be so, and like the moment where in the arsonist chapter he jumps out of the window to save him, like to save her, and like he got saved by the big brother.
Yes, that was good.
He says like even if like we're family, so even if I want to kill you, I won't let you die.
Yes, it's good shit like that. Like I said, brother's definitely my favorite so far. Whose name I can't remember.
I don't remember anyone's name, and I just it needs more time, I think, before I can.
Yeah, I almost remember the main girl's name. I think it's like no, I don't.
Moo something.
Yes. Okay. We're so terrible. Like, oh man, this manga that's cool and new. We can't remember it at all, but
it's definitely like MU, I think, but I can't remember the full name. But I mean, the biggest thing I'm worried about is I read another manga a while ago. By a while ago, it was like a couple months ago. That was ended at like 20 chapters. That was a jump manga that ended pretty early on. That Jamini's Box was doing scans of about like a businessman. And it was like another battle manga.
Okay.
And I thought that manga was like around the same level of quality, where I was like, I enjoyed it, and I would have read it weekly for a while.
But it got canceled.
It got canceled. And I mean, I read like when it was canceled was when I started reading, so I read all 20 chapters at once. And like I feel like this is on the same level where I am worried that it will get canceled early. and I really hope it doesn't, because it's one that I don't think. I mean, I could see it beating out a lot of what I have, like, or not a lot, but some of what I currently have in Jump. But obviously, in the first 5 chapters, it doesn't reach that. But few things are going to. Especially considering, obviously I can't get into specifics, but I wanted to let you know that I'm completely right about Haikyuu with what I told you the other day.
I saw some pages, yes.
The newest chapter,
Well, see, I just realized you're completely right about Haikyuu, and I'm completely right about One Piece, because I did the Marines video, and you talked to me about the, like, oh, this is this character, you know, and...
Well, yeah, I even, like... It literally was to the point where, like, what I told you about how, like, every character's gonna blame themselves was confirmed with mini panels in this chapter. And, like, just, like, the last 3 pages of the chapter were, like, the last page in the chapter is legitimately maybe the best spread that Furudate's ever done. And I, every week, am impressed by his art. Like...
I think, is it the one with Hinata's profile face?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw it and I liked it, so...
It, like... That manga impresses me every week, without fail. It's unreal. I don't understand.
See, it's like, I think I'm becoming like you, where it's like, I'm realizing that I kind of like manga more than anime. So, but, because I've seen... Like, I've seen more anime than I've read manga. Like, I think I have, like, 600 anime entries, and, Hit me, by the way? Okay, no. I don't know how, but I fell asleep.
Oh, okay, I can hit you.
Okay, no, I'm up. Thank you. And Rathian's here. Oh, no, that's not Rathian. That's not Rathian. That's not Rathian. That's not Rathian.
Who's this? He's gone? Oh no, he's coming back!
Did you get your carps?
Yeah, I got him.
Is he shutting up because I'm here? That's not allowed.
Is that like an Iceborne monster, or is it?
No, that's just a new. No, he's in the base game. So do you know anything about Devil Joe?
I do know. Yeah, Big Pickle. Yeah.
Yes. It's because, well, basically, like, they introduced him as a monster that he's like a wanderer. He can show up on literally. He basically comes in to fuck up your quest, and that guy is this game's, because he just he literally like dive bombs you and starts shitting those bombs everywhere. Like he'll just do it like while you're really hunting a monster, and they just hear his roars, and he'll just like fucking dive bomb you. So he's a jackass monster, and so it makes sense that he'd show up this early, because like he's gonna harass us until we can actually fight him. Just like, because Devil Joe, no, they were mean about it in Monster Hunter Tri, the first game that Devil Joe showed up in, because like there's a mandatory high rank quest in the first set of high rank quests where it's like you have to slay 5 Jagia, which are like, you know, bigger Jaggies, or like little raptor things, and Devil Joe is there. And so like in 3 Ultimate on the 3DS, they even gave him like a full cutscene to introduce him. But it was really funny the first time I did the quest, because I'm like, I'm just gonna do the solo. No one's gonna want to do this quest online. And like, I'm just running through one of the areas in the game, and Devil Joe comes out of the ground underneath me and knocks me into the sky. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, because I'm just fighting these like little small monsters in a high rank quest, like something that doesn't matter at all. And then Devil Joe comes in. I'm like, what the fuck? And so now that was interesting. Like, he literally came in at the end too, at the perfect time. That was so good. But you should have high rank now.
Yeah, I'm watching this cutscene and then.
Right.
Okay, so sorry. So you were talking about how you think now you're starting to like manga more than anime.
Yes, because like I've been, because it's just faster to go through, and that's satisfying. And like, you know, I want to read all these Jump things, and there's other manga too, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah, because oh, that's right. Yeah, last night I didn't want to do anything new, so I just reread some Spy X Family chapters, and I still really liked him, even though like I just read the series. So
right.
Because like the art is good, and the main, like the little girl is like literally the cutest thing, and she makes me like not just in like how she looks, but in how she acts, because she's like she.
Well, a cute girl isn't a cute girl with just her looks. It's
right.
the full
Exactly.
thing.
Yes, and well, like especially because like in the first chapter, the spy he's trying to build his family, and she can read his mind, and she just wants to get adopted. So she's like he thinks, oh, she's too short, so she stands on her tiptoe to look taller, and like. And he's like baffled because like he's just like looking at her, and then she's like doing weird shit randomly to appeal to him, and she's trying so hard to get adopted, and it won my heart over in like one chapter because I'm just like she's trying so hard, she just wants a family, and I'm like my emotions, like in one chapter, and it was cute and adorable, and holy shit, read Spy X Family.
I'm going to, it'll be the first thing I catch. So. The problem is I took a break from Ice Shield to read those two, and I really want to finish Ice Shield 21 because I'm really enjoying it. So yes. I think I might just catch up to everything else and jump, except for Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs, Jujutsu Kaisen, long, and Act Age, since those are over like 50 chapters.
Yes.
Yeah. Then finish Ice Shield, then catch up to everything else and jump, then I'll do Spy X Family.
Sad. It's only 14 chapters.
Well, I thought it was like in the 20s. Maybe I'll do it sooner, like before I... go back to Ice Shield, but yeah, because I want to.
I mean, maybe I'm hyping you up and you'll just think it's okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's better if you.
Well, it's just that I want to, like, Act Age and Jujutsu and Yuna are gonna be, this basically the amount isn't gonna feel any different between doing it now or doing it in a couple weeks. But especially for the ones like under 20, it's gonna kind of be, a little different.
Right. Well, because like that was my issue. I read all these series, and like honestly, except for Double Taisei, which I was like the last one I read, like, and Toki, so like I'm kind of like already like I read, Yokozuna Family, and I'm already forgetting some things from it. So
right.
Even though I did like it. So. And
I mean, it's definitely gonna be one of those things I think where it's just like. The ones that stand out are going to stand out after more time, Like,
yes.
It really is hard to tell if a manga's good in 5 chapters,
Yeah. Like, I usually give it, like, a volume or two even.
Yeah.
Like... Yeah. Because some people say, like, oh, you should give it the 3-episode test. Oh, so you should be able to tell if they're 1 episode. Where I'm like... Neither. Like, I'm like, if I don't like it in 1 episode, like I'll usually try to finish at least the first episode, but like if I obviously don't like it, I'm not gonna bother. Sometimes if I'm on the fence, I'll watch another one and see. So it like, it depends, but I haven't dropped well, because like most of the stuff I'm reading like out of or watching, I'm doing it out of like obligation, because like I'm doing it for the Weeb Club. Like, I'm not gonna drop Anohana. We're gonna watch it, and so
God, I wish we could have dropped Anohana. Holy shit! Right, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, for the longest time, like I think it was at 200 anime completed before I ever dropped a show. And at the time, I was like proud of that. I was like, yeah, when I start something, I finish it. And
what was the first show that you dropped?
It was a seasonal. It was a shitty seasonal because what I was doing was, oh my god, what season was it? If I go to my Annie list, I can tell you immediately. There was a season where my goal was to watch everything in the season. And after
to try to actually finish.
I watched more episodes. It was 2017 because I watched a majority. I think I saw like 50 shows from 2017 or 40 shows or something like that from 2017 and all. Because that was when I was like, that was before I was super into manga. Because I got really into manga at the end of 2017 going into 2018. So that was when I was like watching anime mainly. So I watched like most shows that came out that year.
Okay.
And I think it was the summer season. Maybe it was fall, but yeah. And so I dropped. It was like, there were a couple shows where I was watching, and I was like, yeah, these are okay. And then I ended up just like dropping because I was like, I don't want to turn on another episode. This show is so bad. You know what? I remember the first show I decided. It was Battle Girl High School. I couldn't watch another episode of
it. I don't remember that. I probably wasn't watching very many seasons at that point. So
Battle Girl High School isn't worth watching. It was a mix between like Love Live, Symphogear, and like 3 other shows that was very obviously engineered to try and be a popular anime, but it was terrible and it had terrible production value. And after like 2 episodes, I was like, I cannot turn on another episode of this fucking show.
Yeah, see, with me and like the seasonals, because I had that, but it's like it was different because like I actually enjoyed the shows I was watching, but for some reason I just like when I was watching the episode, I was like, why didn't I watch this earlier? But until then, I was like I just felt like I didn't want to watch, like I just didn't want to turn it on, kind of thing. It was weird. So that kind of, as part of why stuff like that was kind of why I stopped. And my issues with weeklies was, I think Billy Bat was what caused it, because I liked Billy Bat, but like I finished it and I was like, okay, I need to reread it, and then I'm like, well, I just, I've been reading it for 5 years, but
Right.
they needed to reread it. Like, what was the point of reading it as it was coming out? I kind of extreme example because it had a lot of hiatuses, but like, now I guess I'm more open to the idea of rereading. Like, I think you said it before, but like nothing really becomes like a favorite until you reread it or something like that. Or I've heard that idea somewhere.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I think there are things that can. I mean, I guess it's weird because like I think it's either when you binge it or because like Haikyuu is weird to me because, and a large part of this is because it's also like my brother's favorite thing and my little sister's, both of their like favorite things are like Haikyuu. So I've seen the anime in its entirety twice and read the manga once. So like, yeah, I've basically experienced half of Haikyuu 3 times now. Yeah. Because when I read the manga, I was like, I'm gonna start over from the beginning. Fuck it, because I do really like Haikyuu. But there's a lot of things that are in my Paris that I've only done once, and some of them I have read twice. Like Three Gods, who I watched and read. Nisekoi I've read twice. Kingdom I've only read once, but I want to reread Kingdom.
Already, yeah. That's fair.
So it's One Piece I've only read once, but I want to reread it. Yeah. So it's
because like when you read it, you have like a different perspective now, So it's like, and I definitely think it deepens the appreciation, especially for something like One Piece, especially where there's so much to it that like you really can't have it all fresh in your mind anyway. But so
well, I mean, yeah, and it's funny with Rigatsu because I don't want to spoil what the arc is about, so I'll just say the arc where the best part of the series, the arc where Ray becomes a Chad. I think I've read it now 4 times.
Dude,
since I got
okay,
caught up
that's
on
awesome. Actually, I've only read it twice. Or no, I've only read. Wait, did I reread it? I forget.
Because it happens all the time where I just I'm sitting around and I think about it, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll just go to when it starts, and like I kind of have an idea of when it starts, and I just read the whole thing. Because it's not that many chapters. It's like 10, 15 chapters at most.
Yeah, and they're short chapters, I think.
Yeah, most of them are. And then every time I do that, I also read the more recent kind of thing that goes along with that, where the school festival, I guess, is probably the best.
Yes.
I'll also go read that part, which is good. But
so I need to re-experience the whole thing because I just kind of caught up. But
have you seen it?
I've watched the anime and I'm caught up to the manga. I just read the newest chapter.
God, oh my god. Oh, this recent shogi match was really fucking good. I think we have to talk about it off stream because I want to talk to you about Threegatsu with the most recent chapter because it like made me start thinking about things a lot, but I also am worried about it for other reasons because like I don't know. It's Threegatsu's really good.
Something that made me want to I wasn't sure what he was referring to, so that kind of is like maybe it's been a while, so
yeah. Well, yeah, because like the problem.
There's something about a lie that he'd said, and I'm
okay, so the lie I could talk about. Yeah. So that's something that's in the manga, or in the anime.
No, it's just something I've forgotten what it was.
It was they even kind of showed it. It was when he's at his funeral for his parents, and the guy that becomes his father now. Yeah, says, "Do you like shogi?" And he says, "Yes."
Well, because I think yes, because he didn't like shogi, but he threw himself into because I was confused because I thought the lie was to the Kawamotos, and I'm like lie to them. Yeah. So that could be.
Well, that's the thing that like confuses me is because like I've talked to a friend about this a lot. I don't know if he's still in chat. He was earlier, but like he kind of has the interpretation that I completely kind of agree with, where like it's not even that Ray doesn't like shogi, but that like his depression was just so bad that it reaches a point where you just don't like anything. Yeah. And like that's why him still calling it a lie has me kind of worried, because like I thought that at least at some point now in the manga he would have been over it a little bit, you know what I mean? Like enough that he would realize, especially with all the things that have happened, like that he does enjoy shogi, and the fact that he's still saying kind of that he doesn't is like almost worrisome, like for what's gonna happen next. Which it would almost be good, because it's been like you know kind of really since like season 1 of the anime ended that this series has been focused on Rei needing to grow, because it's been a lot of he's been
helping the Kawamotos,
and it's even kind of shown a little bit of like the Kawamotos, you know, in this school festival arc there was even a little bit of like the Kawamotos are mostly over their problems, kind of.
Yeah.
Like there's
still the marriage that's Rei's trying his best.
Oh my god,
but he's completely transparent about it, and he doesn't think so. Like I loved when fucking they're just the teacher and why can't I remember character names right now? Because I'm playing Monster Hunter, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, and they're like, oh Rei, you like he's just showing him off or something.
We see Rei through you. It's so funny.
Because there was like for me, it was like several chapters and like I waited until I caught up. So for me, it was like for a while of like Rei doing his schemy stuff, and then they're just like, yeah, we know exactly what you're fucking doing, so it was even better. Because I was led along like Rei, like, yeah, they don't know what's going on, and then they know. God. Oh god, it's so good.
But yeah, well, it's just like because there was this spread during the school festival where he's like, you know, everyone's been through a lot this last year. And I kind of almost saw that as like, okay, especially Hina is probably done with a lot of the bullshit she's been dealing with for now.
Yeah.
Which then it would make sense to go back to Rei and have Rei have problems now that he needs to work through. Now that he's confident, because it's even talked about, like, at this point, he's confident in knowing that he can rely on the Kawamotos as opposed to kind of having to get over the I can rely on people.
Yes.
So I would almost want an arc like focused on him needing to work through issues, but knowing that he can talk to them about it.
Yeah. That would be cool. See, like, because I'm gonna watch Godzilla movies. I'm gonna actually in my backlog next, or so I did tell you, but because like I did set aside a spot for like. I'm gonna also start going really into my favorites rewatch and reread, where I go through everything I have given it a 9 or a 10. I've already done some of it, but like when I rewatched Place for the Universe what? I haven't really gotten hit before at this quest, so I forgot. I forgot that I'm in high rank, I guess. But what was I saying? So like yeah, I just like I really want to go through all these. Oh, that's right, because the first thing I'm doing I think is. Because I'm going to do a Bleach reread like through my Discord server, because we got a lot of people who think Bleach is pretty interesting, so we're all going to kind of reread it, and with full spoilers, so we're going to be able to talk a lot about just the overarching like ideas as we go read through it. And I think my idea is like while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be rewatching Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because it's a really long show, and I just feel like if I get this really long one out of the way, then that's like a lot that I no longer have to do with my favorites rewatch, because it's fucking 170 episodes if you count the OVAs. So, and they're not even short episodes. It's like 24 minutes when you take out the ending and open. Like it's 27 minutes.
Right, because it was all an OVA, right?
Right. Yeah, it's OVA series. So like long ass fucking show.
But it's really good. I've had it downloaded for a long time. It's something. The problem is with me saying I want to watch is I don't watch much anime, but it's definitely something I've wanted to watch.
Because I really liked it. I gave it a 10 out of 10, but this was the time of my life I also gave Ava a 10 out of 10. So I don't fucking know. Like I give it an 8 out of 10 now. I like it, but it's like I don't know why I like Ava or Legend of Galactic Heroes. So I probably gave him 10s because everyone gave him 10. I don't fucking know.
Right.
So I just think I'll like it going back to it. I just don't know how much. And the other thing that's weird about rewatches is like, because you know how rewatches update on MyAnimalist, right? So it's like, when I rewatch something, I feel the need that like I have to finish it. Like I can't stop rewatch. Oh, did his scalp fall off? Did you break his head?
Oh yeah, I did.
Did you carve it?
No, I don't remember where I did it.
Oh, it's right here. It says it's right here on the map. There it is. I'm on it. Quickly.
Oh shit!
You only
Oh,
have,
shit.
that's too late. I don't even think I carved it. No, I did. I did get the carve.
I was doing this by the way because I needed to. I'm getting the Baroth hammer, so I needed to.
Right.
Well, and we need to do quests anyways for this, but I'm probably just gonna keep doing this guy since I can get his hammer.
That's fine. I'm down for whatever. I might upgrade my armor a little more because he hits harder than I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like, so yeah, I do want to go through all my favorites and well, because like I thought about the thing I talked to you regarding Shonen Jump yesterday that I'm not talking about in public otherwise, and like I do want to have like a favorites list like solidified if I do that, because like, you know, I want people to like see and be like, yeah, I have my like, because right now my most favorites right now I have 3 anime and 2 manga favorited, which is not a lot.
One Piece and Spy X Family.
No, Plunderer. Spy X Family is close. Spy X Family is close. I just want it to go on longer to see, but it's good. I like it. And then Bleach is probably going to be up there. Could because it's super interesting at least. Like I don't know if maybe not favorite, but at the very least it's super interesting. Maiden Abyss is almost definitely going to be on there. And after that, I have no idea off the top of my head. Oh, Sangatsu, I don't know. Maybe both anime and manga. Fuck it. I love it's good.
They're both look. I think Three Gatsu is an example of one of those ones where it's like, you know, the anime and manga are ultimately different experiences that are both
both good. Right. Yeah. Like the music and the style and the endings and openings are all good. Like it adds a lot, even though and the manga is also really fucking great. So I'm curious about Honey and Clover, which we might be reading soon. Right. Because same author, but
because I mentioned it. I think. Oh my god! I think it's actually something that What and I talked about for the Weeb Club before.
Oh, before I came in.
Before you came in, because we were talking about it, and I mentioned how like there's this one scene. I don't know if you'll remember it in either, but like Akari says dinner. Right, like she says dinner to Rei, and in the manga, it's this like quick throwaway gag in the corner of like it's in the side of 2 panels where the cats hear the word dinner, and they like freak out and like start clawing on her and are like give us dinner, but it in no way takes over a majority of what's going on in.
When in the anime it did, right?
In the anime, yeah, it cuts over it, and like she does this big head turn, and the cats run at her and like jump on her, and it takes over like a majority of like the actual screen.
Yeah.
And so that's.
But it adds to like the busyness of the whole. This was episode 1, right? I assume.
I don't remember when it was.
Maybe not. But no, yeah. What about your god? Do you have something to say to me? Your god?
No, she gave me I was given I was given rations and steaks, and that made me happy. Okay. Yeah, but and that's just like one of a small example. There's something I like retweeted the other day where there's like this scene where Hayashida does like JoJo poses. And like it changes art style, and like that stuff's only in the anime. And that's just like some of the shit that is like only in the anime that I think, you know, it's better than, you know, oh, I'm just gonna make a panel for panel adaptation of the manga. Yeah. It's one of those things where it changes things and gives kind of a different experience. So I definitely like I have both the Three Gatsu anime and manga on my 4x4s, and I have no fucking shame in that shit at all. I would give. I gave both of them 10s. Like.
Yeah, I've been awkward about that because, like, I guess for some reason I don't know why I kind of like part of me is hesitant to put an anime and a manga on the my respective 3x3s to the same series, like because I also really like Chihaya Furu. Right. I don't know which I like, but, you know, like because the manga goes on longer, but the anime is getting a season 3. Season 2 is it's good, but it adapts less material in the same amount of episodes. So yeah. And then like, but yeah, like the main of this, like manga is pretty standout Victor there, even though the anime does a lot of things I like, or at least especially the last episode and some other parts. Like the soundtrack is my favorite anime soundtrack, like period. I love that shit. They didn't even use a lot of the tracks in the anime, but I still like it.
Well, it definitely is one of those things where it's like, it's for sure, it's like, you know, when you like a story, you like a story. So when you watch an anime and you like the story or you read a manga, right? And like that manga has one of your favorite stories, and then you see it animated, you're going to love it as well because you just love that story.
Yes. You know? Yeah. Right. So it's like, it's just, I don't know.
It's why I'm scared to, like, I have volume 1 of Barakamon, the manga. And Barakumon's been my favorite anime for years now, and I haven't touched the manga, and I'm almost scared to because, like,
and that's also interesting because the manga is over, so like, the story's over.
I think I've mentioned it before, but like, I don't know if I've told this to you. I know I've said it before, but like, I legitimately think that as a show, Barakamon has a perfect beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
And like, I've never wanted, like, it's not one of those things where I want to read the manga to see more of the characters, because, like, even though I love all those characters, I feel like I've seen enough of them, you know?
Okay.
And, like, maybe, you know, like, I know that there are, you know, like, but it wasn't something like, you know, where season 1 of a show ends, or, like, even with Rigatsu, where, like, I knew there was more, and, you know, even then, like, I was pretty content with what we got from Rigatsu at the end of the second season until I saw that one spread from the manga. Was like, okay, now I need to see what the fuck this is about.
Was it the confession one, or the
yeah? It was the Chad spread.
The Chad spread.
Because I think I remember talking to you about that and being like, I saw this.
Yes.
I want to read Rigatsu, and then like 2 days later, I read all the manga in like a day.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Oh god, I wanna.
Yeah, and so it's like, Barakumon's one of those things where, like, I legitimately almost just don't want to read the manga because I think the anime is such a perfect story, like, in on its own. Which is, like, almost weird to say. Like, it's weird for me to say that.
Yeah, no, especially because you're such a manga fag, so, right. I mean, I feel like you're probably gonna read it eventually. But,
oh, definitely. I mean, you know, I want to read every, like, yeah, like, I have, like, you know, like, my aspirations is to be the guy who, like, anytime anyone brings up a manga, I can be like, oh, yeah, I've read that.
Well, at least everything that's translated.
Yeah. Where, like, someone can be like, hey, I heard about this. I don't know if it's good, though. And I'm like, yeah, it's sick. Or, no, that shit sucks. I mean, I still need to finish my quest to read everything by Seo Koji, my least favorite manga.
Right.
I have one thing left though. I need to read Fuka and then I'm done. But I don't want to read Fuka because I already hate him. And look, I'm just gonna say what happens in Fuka because I know what happens, and I don't think anyone should ever read anything written by this man. But so. In Fuka, the main character, the main female lead, is the child of the two main characters in Suzuka. So he did Suzuka, then did Kimi no Irumashi, and then did Suzuka, or Fuka, right? So at the beginning, it's about this guy, and then it's about Fuka, right? And, you know, you're supposed to care about Fuka because she's the daughter of the two main characters in Suzuka. Who that manga ends with, she's a track star and so is he, but she gets pregnant and has to drop out of high school, and the manga ends like that. And so it's that baby. It's literally the baby that ended Suzuka.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
So the main character and Fuka like have a relationship because all of his manga are romantic dramas.
Right.
And so they get into a relationship, and she gets hit by a bus and dies at one point. And then gets replaced by another girl also named Fuka.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
So it's still called Fuka, and there's still a main female lead named Fuka, but it's a different Fuka from the Fuka you start with.
And that's a different Fuka that was in the child of this other...
like, the only reason you would care about is because she's the child of two previous characters of his.
That seems like it's supposed to be metatextual almost, where it's like it's asking you, do you still care about like what? I don't. That's so.
If Seo Koji was any like, I wish I could give Seo Koji that credit, but the man is not smart enough to do something.
Okay, because that sounds fucking baffling and unreal.
No, he just really likes to add like super forced drama like that because he doesn't know how else to create conflict other than to make super crazy things happen that make no sense. I mean, look, I think he's almost like his career is super interesting almost because like his first few manga were like sports manga. Like he did a basketball manga and he did a tennis manga. Because when I started reading from like, you know, well, after I read Kimi no Romachi, I read all of his manga like in the order they were published in. And like he starts with like really bad sports manga. Like there's a really bad basketball manga and a really bad tennis manga. And like they both kind of had romances, but that wasn't the main point.
Yeah.
Good. Do not ever touch Kimi no Uromachi again, Nolam. It is terrible, awful, the worst thing I've ever read. I hate it. It's. But whatever. So he did 2 really bad sports manga, and then he made Suzuka, which is. It starts off as like a track manga, but then very quickly the romance becomes the main part of it, and that was his first popular manga.
So what do you know? And then after that he did romance because that's
right. So then after that, everything he writes is a romance because that was the popular part of his one popular manga. And like Kimi no Uromachi was pretty popular considering it got 27 volumes. You know.
Yeah.
Like it definitely. You know, I don't think it got canceled. I definitely think he chose to end it, but it should have been canceled way before. Yeah, it's something. He's got a career. Like it's.
So what can you nail? Like, what is it specifically about his stuff that you don't?
Well, so like I think I don't think his. First of all, his characters don't act like real people. Like he's really bad at creating conflict that like feels natural. So a lot of times it just like is super obviously very forced or like another thing that he's really bad about is his main characters are always like creeps and not like, you know,
in an endearing way.
One second, I'm getting a phone call from my sister. 1 second.
Oh.
What's up? I don't. That's for Brother Man, not me. I don't know. No. I'm also streaming right now, so I'm not just gonna say that I'm just pressed it out loud for ideas. I think it's what you said and then a 1 after it. I think it's lowercase. But try capital as well. Okay, bye. My sister called me to ask me the Netflix password.
Something that could be done in text. Gotcha.
Yeah, so like
anyway, you were saying what you dislike about Seo Koji.
Yeah, well, so like someone said it really kind of like he's a character change person, not drama that makes no sense, etc. I think like one of the biggest problems is his characters always do these detestable things, and the side characters will always call them out on it. But then at the end of the day, in the manga's eyes, they're right because they're doing it for love. Even though like the main character, literally of Kimi no Uromachi, there's this point where the girl that he's like together with, that he ends up together with, like leaves their small country town to go to Tokyo, right? And they're trying to date long distance, and then she ends up breaking up with him and writes him a note and says, "We should break up. We shouldn't see each other anymore. Like it's better this way." He decides, no, that's not true. She still loves me. So I'm going to go to Tokyo, and I'm going to follow her, and I'm going to find her, and I'm going to ask her what the fuck was going on, and why she broke up with me. Like, actual creepy stalker shit, right?
That's a little bit, yeah.
And, like,
he could have just said, like,
his friends like, even were like, you know, we support you, but you're kind of dumb about it. And he goes, and he was, like, completely in the right, because she did still love him. She just broke up with him for external reasons.
I mean, he could have done it in a not creepy way, like, hey, can we, but no, I guess he doesn't, or Seo Koji doesn't know.
Yeah, and so it's bad, like...
I mean, maybe that's why it's popular, because it's romanced by a person who probably has not like, a romantic partner.
It's so dumb. And it's, like, there's even this moment where, like, so in Kimi no Uromachi, right?
Yeah.
The worst part of the manga happens that it's been memed to shit on 4chan, rightfully so, because it's stupid and bad, but also it's like I hate it with like every part of my being. And it happens, right? And like he ends up back together with the girl from the beginning, the main girl. And then after they get together, I swear to God, there's like 100 chapters where nothing happens. And then in the last volume, they break up and get back together.
Fuck.
And they break up for the reason they break up is because they like it starts when they're in high school and it goes all the way through when they're out of college and have jobs, right? And like there's a part where like his job moved him out of Tokyo to this like outside city, and he breaks up with her because like, oh, she has to travel to come see me and it's a lot of work for her, so I'm gonna break up with her to make it easier for her. And then it ends, his job moved him back to Tokyo. And so now he's back in Tokyo, and he goes and just coincidentally meets her at the place they always used to see each other, and then they get back together in the last chapter of the manga ends.
Lame.
And it's like, it's just like shit like that, like, is through
Where
all
things
of
are
this
just
manga.
happening for like plot or drama, and there's no like meaning, like reason for it, right?
Right,
That's what
yeah,
it sounds
exactly.
Oh, fucking beta!
Oh, shit.
That's what he does. He's just like, look at him. He's just walking away. He's just walking away. Fucking asshole. He just comes in, explodes everything as we just finished the quest, and he's just gonna like walk away. You little fuck. I'm going for your ass.
No,
You can't kill me.
I'm trying to grab question mark for Athy and shit right now.
Oh, you need. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm doing these
So
because I have to do quests in here and collect like the Raphael
Yes.
altar.
Yes. You'll have to do more of those. And like I was literally just doing some of those exact things. But yeah, that's which I think is a really cool thing because like it's sad that it blocks off your progress, but it also like you get to go do whatever the fuck you want and advance the story at the same time.
Right.
So like in this case, yeah, this is a great time to farm for weapons and armor. You know.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think the best way I could describe my feelings towards Suyokoji, like, look, the best part about him is he's a good artist. Like, his girls are cute and hot, right? And, like, because all of his manga is in seinen magazines, he just shows their tits constantly.
Okay.
I think it's in seinen magazines. If not, it's a shonen magazine that allows you to show tits.
Yeah.
Like, like... I think I've said before, like, the reason that his manga is popular is because he draws really nice tits. Oh, I guess that I was right on the Netflix pass where I got a text saying I'm a genius.
That's the wrongest thing that's ever been. No, it's fine. I'm kidding.
But, like, yeah, like, it's just one of those things where I feel like the art's fine, and, like, even the beginning of Kimi no Uromachi, like, I think, like, the first 50 chapters are, like, a 6, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse as it goes. And then after, like, immediately after the worst part of the manga that, like, I get mad about and have been locked on Twitter before because of I ranted about it and used not choice words.
Yeah, I gotcha. Having fun.
Like, outside of, like, that, like, I just, after that, it's just really boring. And that's, like, kind of the biggest problem with all of his shit, is it's just, like, boring, and, like, it's not good or engaging, and I don't think there's, like, you wouldn't like him because there's not, like, a good thematic through line for any of his manga. Like, things just kind of happen.
Yeah, that seems frustrating.
And so,
Well, because, like,
yeah.
well, because I asked the question because I thought, because I think I know what I don't like, and that is, like, the kind of unironic try-hard edge, where it's like Chainsaw Man is not that. And
Right.
I'm still waiting for you to read Jujutsu Kaisen, because, like, do you know what my least favorite piece of media is? Like, I don't know if you even have one, but it's probably one of Seiyuu Koji's works.
It's Kimi no Uromachi. No, it's Kimi no
that's what I
Uromachi.
thought. But do you remember what mine are, or mine is?
I can't remember anymore. I know you've told me before, but I don't remember.
It's well, see, it's a toss-up between Danganronpa 3, the anime,
Right.
to the visual novels, and Danganronpa Killer, which is a spin-off.
That's the edgiest thing I've read, and I fucking despise it. Like, see, and the reason I can't decide because like Danganronpa 3, it's like it's two, you know, it's like 26 episodes or so, 24 or so, something like that. It's 24. So it's like it's not a short watch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Killer Killer is only 3 volumes, and like there's a part where the characters from Danganronpa 3 show up, and I like the characters in Danganronpa Killer Killer. I hate are so shit that when the Danganronpa 3 characters show up, I felt like physical relief, even though they're also terrible. Oh, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know which I don't like less because Killer Killer is definitely like shitty messages being like it basically like okay, it basically says like death is cool and killing is cool, and the at the end of it, the two. The main guy and the main girl go off to do a lover's suicide, and this is framed as positive. It's awful. It is awful. I hate it so much because like the games never frame death as a good thing, even though they use death in their narrative. Like
well, because I've played a little bit of 1, so I know like that's like. You know, it's not good that they have to like the whole point is that it's not good that they have to kill each other and die.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like horrible, and the main character's little protagonist fucking doing it. But then this is like, death is pretty cool, isn't it? And it's like, why? What? I don't fucking what? Fuck you. And also the art, like the artist draws like the serial killers at times in really grotesque ways that. Like none is fucking in Manji because he knows he's watched my Danganronpa videos, so he's fucking like posted these faces that I hate, and I'm just like none, fuck you, actually, like because they're just really grotesque and like edgy, like because one of them he like drinks blood out of a baby bottle, like it's bad, it's
yeah. Well, I think it's I mean it's definitely interesting because I definitely think it's like
not prepared for Anjanath, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm weak to fire.
Oh, well, thankfully I'm using Anja's armor, so I'm strong to it.
Yeah. And he's like, you just jump like this is. I mean, high rank is okay. That's the thing I saw someone suggest is like when you go into G, like you don't want to go straight into G rank after defeating the final boss of the game,
right?
Because like there's like. You know, people who jump like there's a whole lot of post game stuff that you'd have to skip to do that.
Right, because G rank was added with Iceborne, right?
Right. So there's like a lot of post game stuff like the DLC monsters like Devil Joe and Behemoth and the Lunastra. So it's like my Lunastra armor like there it might be maybe more balanced like because my Lunastra armor carried me up to like who was the monster that I finally decided to switch. I have Tigrex armor now. So like that's like decently in the middle kind of, you know, or middle to high. Like I'm used to him being like one of the last monsters you fight in the rank, you know? And I have Tigrex armor now. So it's like you know, and now I'm fighting Elder Dragons. So it's like I basically upgraded my once in the entirety of G rank so far. So because I had Lunastra armor, which was really fucking good. I mean, I did struggle with one like water monster because I'm weak to water, but like.
Well, I want to do once we like beat the game. I do want to do a lot of those like extra like special quests. Like I want to do the Devil May Cry ones. I want to do the Mega Man ones. And then the thing I saw on Twitter today that I don't know if you saw me.
Resident Evil. I saw it and that was like okay, yeah, Monster Hunter is the best game ever. Like I haven't even played Resident Evil. Like what is I think. People are in the replies, it's like Mr. X or something like that.
Yeah,
like the big. You could make your handler like this fucking Resident Evil antagonist guy. That's so stupid. Like they were showing the cutscenes, and it looks so stupid.
Right.
But it's fucking amazing. And you can hunt as a zombie, and you get zombie walking animation. And oh my god, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's so good, and like I'm happy because like I've been.
And you're literally just starting a Resident Evil playthrough.
Well, replay, because I played all the games
replay.
before.
Oh, you have played them. Okay,
so I mean, it's kind of different because like I'm playing the PS4 version of the remake of 1, which I haven't played before. I've only played the GameCube one, which from what I remember, which I also played it like 7-8 years ago was the last time I played Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3. So like I don't remember them super well, but I remember it's probably like I think it's the same. Like there's just the original Resident Evil 1 and then the remake. But yeah, so like I'm replaying 1 and then I didn't play the 2 because like I wanted to play the 2 remake really bad, but it came out 3 days I think, maybe 4. No, I think the Resident Evil 2 remake came out January 25th and Kingdom Hearts 3 came out January 29th.
Right, so you obviously
right,
gonna,
and I was like, I'm not gonna buy this game and not finish it when I'm getting the collector's edition of Kingdom Hearts 3 in a couple days. So I just didn't
buy it, because you knew exactly where your time was gonna be for the next like couple weeks.
Right. So I actually still haven't bought the 2 remake yet, but I'm gonna buy it, you know, once I finish 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just great timing, and I mean it's because it's October, so like the timing isn't, you know, it's for the same reasons, but it's just great timing that as I'm replaying, I got to see like that it's in Monster Hunter, so I'm really excited because I mean it's one of the only survival horror game series I played all of that in like Dead Space, but Resident Evil's really fucking good. Like even playing through 1 is reminding me how great some parts of the game are.
Oh fuck! Drop. You got me. I'm dead.
Oh fuck!
I forgot about that combo. He does like a grab his fire breath.
The smallest amount of HP I've ever had in a video game ever. Oh my god! I have like pixel health. Holy fuck!
How are you alive, actually? Okay, yeah, you probably jumped into this one. That's soon.
Oh my god! Thank you for following, Nolan. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Someone in chat said I wanted to say earlier. They said Danganronpa 3 had a cool thing where you had to watch 2 different shows at the same time.
Yes, because that's the thing. I said it was 24 episodes, but like basically the 2 shows. It was 2 one-core shows that were airing literally at the same time. So like the order you watch them is actually there's a future chapter, despair chapter, and then like the single hope chapter, which is actually the last episode of Despair. So you but it was released as an OVA. So it's like so you watch like an episode of Future, then you watch an episode of Despair, and then you go back and forth until you've first you finish Despair because it's only 11 episodes, then you watch the 12th episode of Future, and then you watch Hope, and that's that. So that's kind of cool. Like in my video, I basically start off talking about that because I think it's cool, and then I bet that and like I talk about the first scene because it's actually the first scene is actually pretty hype, because of major plot spoiler things I can't explain, but and then like my video that is like a 40-minute like show it like starts off saying those 2 things are cool, and then that's basically where the good things I have to say about it come to an end because holy fucking shit, this is the worst experience of media I ever had.
So is V3 because there's 3, which is the show. And
yes. There's Danganronpa 3 and V3 is different. Danganronpa V3 is the 3rd visual novel. It is not. It has a reference to the anime, like but yeah, it's not the anime. If that's what you're gonna ask. Or is that what you're gonna ask? Vindy? This is something that just I can't hear you.
Oh, hello.
Now I can hear you.
My mic's. I just had to unplug it, replug it. So like, yeah. My question was, is 3 something that's necessary to understand, to watch, to really get the most out of it?
Technically, it's like it's supposed to be the end of like because there's like the Hope's Peak like series that and the anime is called End of Hope's Peak, so it's supposed to be the end of the series of that series basically, which is Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2, Ultra Despair Girls, some of the other spin-offs like Danganronpa 0, like so V3 is kind of like it heavily references it, like heavily like it does some things that are cool, but it also it's actually called New Danganronpa V3 in Japan because it's also supposed to be after Hope's Peak kind of thing.
Is 3 like is there gonna be more Danganronpa, or was 3 like very clearly the end?
That's the thing, and there supposedly there is a sequel to this Ultra Despair Girls spinoff in the works, and the original creator isn't like going to be majorly involved from the franchise going forward. Like he intended V3 to be his last Danganronpa game, and it definitely shows. And like I don't know, that video is like actually see that video, my video on Danganronpa V3 Well, one super random thing. Super MHWorld saw it, and I guess he liked it because he brought it up when I'm at MXPO, and I was like, whoa, Super MHWorld just watched my videos, or at least that one. So that was a moment. But well, that one was a major shift in my content because like the ending was super controversial, and so I wanted to like be as like objectively correct as possible. So it's like I focused heavily on the evidence and you know, and like to the point that like the author has stated some things about the ending, but I deliberately ignored the author to see like, okay, is what he states like represented in the work, you know? Like oh shit, Barath came out of nowhere and here with me. Yeah, so it's like that, yeah. But so that, you know, Danganronpa was pretty like important creatively for me, but but yeah, V3 is it's good, but it's not. No, it's yeah. Danganronpa 3 is like Danganronpa is so baffling because like it's probably my favorite visual novel franchise, but it's also a franchise that has some of the like things I hate the most out of all the media I've consumed. And I'm the fairy tale guy, although I kind of like fairy tale now, so that's kind of moot. But
Right.
Oh god. But yeah, well, I just thought about it because like that's why I want to ask you about like, you know, because you don't like this guy, so like what is it specifically like? What is it that in a work, you know, you see and you go like, yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this kind of thing? And for me, it's
the
definitely
hard part.
the
Like, there's been a lot of stuff I haven't enjoyed, but it's hard for me to, you know, like,
okay,
like, because like I would say I don't like. Well, I constantly. My problem with saying shit like that is I constantly prove myself wrong, right? Like, I used to say I don't like exploration in games, or games that are more open. And then Dark Souls 1 is one of my favorite games ever for that very reason, you know?
So it's like, well, see, that's the thing. It's cause like I say I don't like the edge, but like, you know, Chainsaw Man, I read it. I thought it was pretty fun and good. And like, I'm not gonna say it's not edgy, but like, I would say that like, you know, it's like it's more able to be like it's not taking itself as seriously,
right?
You know,
yeah, it's not
like.
Yeah.
Like Denji's an idiot jackass, but like he's not supposed to be framed as cool for doing what he
right,
does.
Like it's self-aware about
what I don't like, which is 100% one thing I don't like about Tokyo Shinobi Squad, aka we live in a society, a capitalist society.
Okay,
yeah.
Never read Zetman and never read
Well, I gotta read Zetman because I watched the anime a million years ago. No, I dropped it because I was like, yeah, the manga's probably better. And this was in 2012, and I still to this day have not.
Oh no, he showed up! I'm getting a cutscene for him now.
Oh, you're not a cutscene, but definitely like a.
Yeah, like a little introduction to him. Finally.
Yes.
Since he showed up during the quest.
This is only the third time we've seen him today. He's honestly, basically, he's an asshole in the pain in the ass fight, but he's so memeable because of shit like this, where he just like drops in on like, oh hey, can I be in this quest? Can I be in this quest, Dad? And he just like, like fucking like a bomber, just a bomber plane. Just yeah, that's what he is. He's a bomber plane.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like yeah. Well, anyway, back to the edge because yeah, I don't like it when it's framed as cool, or like a killer where it's like the positive thing. I'm like. But I also I do like it when it's funny, like with Sasuke, like because I don't think it's actually intended to be funny, but something about like Sasuke being like an edgy like asshole is funny to me. Like I don't know why, like because I don't know if it's supposed to be framed as cool, and I just find it funny. But like, I don't know why I give Sasuke the pass there, where like I don't like it in other things.
Well, have I told you? Because I think this is kind of like it kind of aligns with what you're saying. Have I told you how I feel about like super edgy humor? Like, have I talked about it before?
I don't remember. So pretend I haven't, or pretend you haven't.
So I watch a pretty decent amount of like stand-up comedy, and like.
Okay.
Oh, I finally fucking got a cash star. Holy shit.
Nice.
Like the way I feel about it is that like the actual like in good edgy comedy, the joke never comes from like the actual edgy joke being made, but it's always at the expense of the person making the edgy joke, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Like there are some comics that I think are really fucking funny. Like a good one I'll always point to is Anthony Jeselnik, where he plays a character who says like, you know, really edgy, you know, offensive jokes, but the whole point of the joke is look at how like weird of a person you would have to be, you know, kind of to say something like this, even as a joke.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because he also frames it like it's his like actual opinion, but like,
but that's a character,
right? Like
the
one of his
author
jokes that's like a
or
good example of that is he's talking about how like I'm gonna butcher the joke, but it's just
please.
He's talking about how like he was talking to a woman at a bar and she said she was a brain surgeon, and he goes like, I don't know about y'all, but I was surprised. I didn't know women could tell jokes.
Okay, that was actually pretty good.
Right, it's a good
like,
setup punchline,
yeah,
but it's also like
yeah.
the whole joke is like of his whole, because his whole stand-up routine is like that, and it's like the whole point of like I feel like his character is that like, you know,
well, because like it's like, well, because you have your own biases of like say, but he does it even worse. So it's like it's funny because like he's worse than you, but at the same time like you still thought that, you know,
right?
So
and
I
feel,
yeah.
I think Monkey used to be good at that. About like, you know, his comedy used to be very, look, I'm a like when it was him playing a character, it was funny because the joke is at the expense of the character.
Right, Mumkey, right, the Mumkey. But then the line between them thinned, and because now Mumkey's like kind of a joke in himself, and no one like and especially with his channel deleted, like he's I don't know how he's doing. He's probably done, you know.
Right. Yeah, and I think it just all comes down to like you have to have a level of self-awareness about stuff that's over the top edgy, and like you can't take it too seriously or, you know, act like it's like the cool or right way to be. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Right. And I guess going back to Sasuke is like Sasuke, you know, I mean, even if you do think he's when he's at his in the wrong, you know, like he's the antagonist. So it's like
the manga was called Sasuke instead of Naruto, it would be way worse.
Yeah, exactly. And if he like Kishimoto wanted, or you know, agreed, like Kishimoto, you know, I've heard that he agrees with Sasuke. So, but he had Naruto win because, you know, idealism, and it also makes it out. And he's aiming at a shonen audience. Of course, he's gonna have the idealistic character win. You know.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's fair, because I was trying to think about like because like there's this one because it's like Denji I like because he's like a shitty child, but like there's one scene where in Tokyo Shinobi Squad where the main character is arguing with his boss, and his boss is like blah 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 blah, and he's like yeah, and he like uses his magnetism powers to knock off an expensive painting off his boss's wall as he leaves. So it's like, you know, again with the capitalism thing, like, you know, he has value in this valuable thing, and it's like he's supposed to be like, oh yeah, look how anti-authority this guy is to his own employer, and the boss is mad, and I'm just like, no, I just think I think you're a shitty brat, and not in a good way, because you're just throwing a little fucking temper tantrum, like. And yeah, like it's shit like that annoys me. So it's like, because again, it's framing like that's not even the edgy shit, but like it's just something I dislike from the manga. I don't know. Read Tokyo Shinobi Squad next. I want to bitch about it next time.
Okay, I'll try to catch up to most of them by next time we stream. Which I don't think should be too far.
So now I actually want to read Zetman because I want to see what I think about it, considering like what my thoughts on like edgy stuff.
I don't Crafts. I don't think you're gonna like Zetman at all.
That's why I want to watch it, especially because it's been this like demon for like the last 7 years almost. When I started the anime, I was like, I should finish. Well, because like all I know is that like the like didn't they also do the character designs for that
Astral
one Switch
Chain.
game?
Yeah.
Yes, and they also did the character designs for Tiger Grand Bunny, which I really like. That was actually one of the anime that got me into anime, because like that was one of the ones where it's like there is no manga, and I was interested in it, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch it. And I liked it. And then that one, Nichijou and Daily Lives of High School Boys, were also the same, where it's like the manga wasn't fully translated, so I had the anime as an option. So yeah, but
well, I think like the artist is that man's really good, and I read it because of a spread that is like probably there's this spread that's probably the best part of the manga. Like when that spread happens, and I saw it in a one-page thread on 4chan, and I
the one-page threads.
Yeah, and I read it because of that, and it was, I mean, you know, it's I think it's okay because I think it has some good parts, but it's probably the single edgiest thing I've ever read. With some plot
I've seen some scenes. I think. I kind of, because there's like
the anime adapts the edgiest part of the manga.
I don't. It was only like 12 episodes. So
Right, and
probably
I
not.
don't wanna bring up what it is because I want you. Well, wait, hold on.
And see, I might already know. Might already know. If it involves a bed, then I know.
Well, it involves a bunch of beds and a bunch of girls and a bunch of drugs.
Okay, I don't know that part then, because I know there's something of a block.
No.
Okay,
You'll
different scene. Okay.
It's maybe one of the worst things I've ever read. Like, this single moment is so, it's terrible, but it's also hilarious how ridiculously edgy it is. But okay, someone said in chat.
I have to read it.
Funky TK says, I mean, I think you should read it, but I think you should prioritize Jump first because that man sucks. Okay. He said, I think you crazy Crafts. I think it's intentional that he is a shitty brat. After all, everyone sees him that way. And the latest chapter had him coming up with idealistic solutions, for example. So I assume he's
he's not the edgy one. It's like just like there was a real estate developer who was like, oh man, we're gonna level this place. Oh god, I can't wait to hear the screams of the old people. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. They're the bad guys. That doesn't make me care or like it. In fact, it just annoys me because it's not interesting. Because like honestly, like the series, like having integrity in a system that does not reward integrity, capitalism. That's an idea that interests me, and nothing about the exploration of Tokyo, like the way Tokyo Squad is handling it is just like aggravates me.
Is it like just a very simple like we're good, they're bad?
I guess that's part of it, and like, yeah, I don't know, and like yeah, because like one of the chapter, like there's like a stripper and she gets like killed by the obviously bad guy. And
okay,
like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like they're so insanely bad.
Yeah, it's like it's a subject that I'm really interested in, but it's not being handled in like should I really have expectations for a shonen manga? But like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I feel like you should, because there are for example, MHA, like one of the main conflicts going on right now is what I think is arguably like the most interesting thing about the world, which is unless you're a hero, you can't just use your quirk willy-nilly, right? And like I think that is like by far one of the most interesting parts of MHA's world and stuff. And like it's actually like, being treated, it's showing, okay, this site isn't complete, their methods maybe aren't good, but they have, a point to them, like they're not just completely wrong.
Yeah. And also, think about Tokyo Squad again. I won't spoil it, but the literally the first page you see the main character on, it's like a one-page spread, and he's just saying something in regards to the thing he's seeing, and it's just so like on the nose. It's fucking funny. Like I just like laughed at it for a straight minute, because and that was like, yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy this series because I don't think I was supposed to laugh. I won't say what it was, and it is explained after in like the next rest of the chapter, but it's just. Manga.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to read next. I should look.
Spy X Family.
What? That's some talent. Is World Trigger's not in Jump? I really want to read World Trigger though.
Oh, it's not in Jump I thought it was, but maybe.
I didn't know World Trigger was like weekly Shonen Jump. Is what I mean.
Well, maybe it wasn't, because I thought it was a Jump manga when I read it, and then it went on internal. I think it did move magazines because it was on like problems.
Yeah.
So it makes sense
because it wasn't in that Jump thing we were looking at. I wanted to do. Oh, I think I was gonna do Shinobi 8 next, actually.
Or Samurai 8.
Samurai 8. Yeah. Sorry.
It's fine. It's okay. I want it to get an anime, and I want people to like say it's stupid and makes no sense when it's literally like so fucking obvious about literally everything it's doing.
I just had friends say it was boring, is all I've heard about it.
That's fair. I mean, it's I'd say it's fine. Like I don't have strong feelings towards it. There was a couple good moments, but like it's pretty plain about everything. Like its main point, like because I'm not sure if I'd say like. I mean, I think you said that where it's like, oh, Kishimoto like really. So it's like, and I don't know, maybe if I reread Naruto, I'll be like, yeah, this is bashing me over the head. But at least like with Sasuke's character, like there's subtlety to how he's being told. At least it's not like bashing me over the head. To the point where a lot of people like didn't get. I thought Sasuke was a bad character for years, and then I reread Naruto, and I'm like, oh, Sasuke is actually really good.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean,
so,
I understand why in Naruto, Kishimoto had almost, obviously it wasn't like that for Madara and Kaguya, but like every other villain, is like the one that really got me was Kabuto. Like, because Pain Arc,
oh yeah,
I completely understood. But like the moment Kabuto comes in the final arc, and I was like, yeah, I'm a good guy now. I was like, shut the fuck up, Kishimoto. Holy shit, I hate you.
See, I really liked his backstory. It was interesting. Personally,
my problem was like it wasn't even like I don't mind Kabuto as an isolated incident, right? Like I don't think it was bad writing going into Kabuto. It was just that like at that point it just felt like too much.
Okay, that's because like, see, my thing with Kabuto reading it is like in the earlier parts, me and Nathos were honestly just fucking confused because his character seemed to be a fucking mess. I don't know if it was intentional or if Kishimoto's like just solved it in a really clever way. Mm-hmm. But like he made Kabuto's like identity and issues like a major part of his character, and that was like a really clever way to come up with like something that I was like, what the fuck,
Right.
So I thought that was interesting.
Look,
is what I mean when I say.
I agree that Kabuto is justified to turn. I'm not saying that it's bad that Kabuto turns. Okay, because I've mentioned this before, and everyone always goes, he got trapped in an infinite loop. Of course he turned. And it's like, my problem with Kabuto isn't that he turns. Like,
it's that he, like everyone turns kind of thing. And,
right. It was... Wait, okay, so I need Kestodon? I don't know where the fuck that is.
Kestodon, they're the rushy guys that headbutt you in the ancient forest in the dunes. They're small monsters.
For them, so I'll just do something else
then. Okay. You could do an expedition.
It's fine. Let's just do...
I mean, I can't join you if you do an expedition, but you can.
Yeah.
Also, when do you have to go to bed?
I'll probably go in, like, 30 minutes or so.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not the emphasis on turning, but the fact that he is the most... Right. So, look. I understand. I don't think it's bad that Kabuto became a good guy. It made sense. It was the fact that, like, every villain, basically, before Kabuto, like at the point Kabuto turned, it just felt like, because, like, my favorite villain that turns, I guess villain in, like, quotes, my favorite character that turns to good is Kurama. Like, that's, like, one of my favorite parts of Naruto. Is Naruto's relationship with Kurama.
The front row seat to Naruto being Naruto, so it's like
right, like sense, when Naruto's calling Kurama names and like making faces at him, and Kurama's getting in on it, is like my favorite part of Naruto. Like without a doubt. But like it still stands that like there's like a certain point where like I don't know. It felt like there was like I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just like it really did feel like it was just so much at that point where I was just like, okay, like
I mean, well, you when did you read this like before I did my video, right?
Yeah, I read so. Naruto. Yeah, because you sent me the script to your Sasuke video.
Yes. Well, because like that's the thing is like I remember on the Shonen podcast, you and what, who was apparently Sasuke, were like talking about how like bad Sasuke was, and I think at one point I said I disagree, but I guess you guys didn't hear me because Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And then because that was when I guested on the BSA. But later obviously things changed, and I gave you the script, so I don't know, because like I think I'd appreciate Naruto more reading it, so I do want to reread it because I'm curious as to how it will feel actually, I don't know, like maybe you'll reread it one day and like it. I don't know, like it more, or because that's the thing is about like because I had that with Fairy Tail where it's like I know the bad parts already, so they didn't bother. Like,
right?
Why would I get bothered? So so maybe that wouldn't be as much an issue. Again.
Yeah, Funky. I just think it's too ham-fisted. Is probably the best way to describe it. I think Naruto's a little too
for kids.
Yeah, but not, like...
Well, because, like, honestly, like, see, there's things about Naruto that, like, me and Mathos were treating them like some, like, major elevations, and then literally, like, we certain scenes and the characters are basically stating them outright.
Right, yeah, like my whole problem with Naruto is that, like, because I enjoy it, right? I like a lot of the characters. I like a lot of the moments. I like the themes. I just think it's a little too, beating you over the head with it.
And you're gonna enjoy Samurai 8.
Oh, yay.
Because holy shit, it grabs the mallet.
And, like, I completely understand why it does it. Like, and, like, I like other things where the themes are very blatant, I guess, Like,
Yeah,
Gurren
you talked
Lagann, I
about that,
love.
like, well, you talked about that with Tatami Galaxy and Barakamon.
Yeah.
I guess. Or, like, the arc, you know the exact arc the character is going to go through, and you want to see it happen, that kind of thing. So,
Look,
like,
Funky, you don't have to justify Kabuto turning good. I agree. I think it's good. Like, I'm not complaining that, like, you're missing the point. Like, my issue isn't that Kabuto turns good.
I'm saying it's like, or I would say it's the difference between opinion and judgment, know, which I've been trying to talk about more because, like, people, like, because I see, like, maltaste, it's not that they, like, necessarily don't even, like, they're only pretending like the shows they do. It's like they want to seem like they have good taste. So they mix opinion and judgment because they don't want to be seen as having bad taste,
Right.
Like, so they can only like shows that have good judgments behind them, So, and your thing is like your judgment. There's nothing wrong with the Kabuto thing. Your opinion is that you don't like it, and you have a reason for your opinion.
Yeah, and it's
where
not
it
even like
just happens too
Kabuto
much
as
for
like
you.
an isolated moment. It's just like I think it's a problem that takes
because
over
that's
Naruto
the thing
in
about
the
like,
second half.
because that's the thing about amounts of things is like how much is too much for a story?
Right.
It's like overbearing, but then like Samurai 8 has that too. Again, at the same time, it's a story for children, so so I would say like as an adult, you're absolutely free to not like it, but I wouldn't say it's a fair because like people say that with One Piece, like there's not enough to just like there's not enough textual evidence to justify like Luffy beating Katakuri, just because it makes sense. But there's not enough evidence. Like once you go, like what is enough?
Right.
What is enough for a judgment? And I would say like as long as it's not arbitrary, like as long as it's meaningful,
Right.
So like but that's judgment. For opinion, enough could be like literally one thing, or it could be a lot. Like in your case, it's a lot of things. So for like of this one thing that's perfectly fine. And again, like as far as judgment goes, you don't have it, but opinion goes, you do have.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And
it's like it's not it wasn't even like anything. Yeah, it wasn't even anything about Kabuto. That just another character turns good. Like it could have been any character. It just happened to be Kabuto.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's like it's the same way, like because you bring up like it's for kids. I think it's a little dumb, but I don't have the complaint that like there was this war and only one character died, right? Because look, people like to bring up that Shikamaru Choji and Ino's parents died. They don't fucking count as characters. Like they weren't important enough, right? So like when people bring up that like no, only one character died in the 4th grade Ninja War, and it was Neji. You know what I mean? But like I don't think that's necessarily that big of an issue considering what Naruto is.
Yeah, and like again, like you don't have to like it. You also don't have to like you don't have to. Naruto doesn't have to. I'm not watching Dora the Explorer and being like, "Where's the good themes? Why can't this be for me?" No, I don't give a fuck. It's not for me. I can enjoy it. I can like let it be, and I'm not gonna fucking watch Dora the Explorer. I don't care. And if I did, it'd be like then it'd probably have something that does appeal to me, like Aikatsu does, because that's honestly the age group Aikatsu's aimed at is not that much higher than Dora the fucking Explorer. It's like a year or two maybe. And I really fucking like Aikatsu.
Right. You're not watching Dora and being like, this is unrealistic. People don't take these long pauses in between their words.
No, there was actually a part that's like they have to. It was like a giant. There was literally a giant bowl of cereal in the road, and they swam across it in a boat, or they could have just walked around. They could. There's no reason they couldn't have walked around, but and yeah, it's stupid and it makes no sense. But I'm not making fucking 5-hour video dissections talk about how unfucking realistic Dora the fucking Explorer is.
Right.
Like, who fucking cares? But people do that shit because they want everything to appeal to them. Like, and it's stupid.
Right. They think every media has to be for them. Everything has to be their definition of good. Well, that's what other problems.
That means that's what inclusive means, right? But no, that's not what it means.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that's like one of my issues that like people like to use like I would say that like there's a difference between words that are for opinion. And you know, I mean everyone does this a lot. You know,
I try like I don't use the word like I honestly try not to use like good or better. Like I don't say like One Piece is better than Naruto. Right. Because that's a judgment, and you know, even if I could give a million reasons to justify why I think that, I still wouldn't say it because, like, why? That's just antagonistic. Because there are people who think the opposite, and I don't want to have a fucking discussion with those people. Like, not because like, but you know, because like, if they're gonna get serious over that, they're probably like, not the kind of people I want to engage with in the first place. Like, if you know, someone who likes like what none, like they say like, oh yeah, like they connect to Naruto more, so like they recognize Luffy's a good character, but they're like. They just, you know, like Naruto Ichigo more, and that's fine. You know, I think, you know, I don't have that opinion, but I'm not them, so it's like I get it, and they're able to frame things in ways that don't piss me off because they're not just like, yeah, Luffy's just not a good character, Ichigo's better. Like they don't do that, you know?
Right.
Like I mean, I did have a thing on my server recently where I was just like, I was kind of trying to start shit with someone on the server because he's not a smart guy, but because I was like, yeah, Bleach is like better than Ichigo, it's not even a con, and he was like, what, in what way? And I'm like, I want to know the reverse. In what way is Yu Hakusho supposed to be better? Like I was just being antagonistic, but like I also do think Bleach is way better. But like I mean, I guess I don't know what Yu Hakusho is mostly like bullshit that doesn't matter. And honestly, the only real thing that bothers me about Yu Hakusho, it's not even really about Yu Hakusho. It's that people like give it 100% give it a pass for doing exactly the same thing they bitch about in a. Because Yu Hakusho does a lot of the like lame shonen stuff, and it doesn't even do it in like good or interesting ways. Like, fucking like it's not a lot. Like you know me, I like the themes, and sometimes fights have like meaningful thrusts to them. Sometimes,
right.
Not a lot, not like yeah, Yusuke versus Toguro is good. It doesn't somehow magically make the Dark Tournament the best tournament arc ever when it has one good fight. Well, it has a couple of good fights, but it has one really good fight and then a bunch of like boring. Oh, I'm sorry, you were doing something and I'm awful. Like yeah, it's fine. Like I'd say it's the best arc so far. I haven't reread Chapter Black or the Three Kings, and I haven't reread Chapter Black, the only one that matters as far as like discussing good Yu Hakusho arcs. Like I don't know. It's fine. It's a fine series. It's not amazing. I know Togashi can do way better. I've seen better things in the medium. You know, like it's just like because I think I talked about this before, but like the amount of people who think a shonen is good is proportional to how good the anime.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, because Yu Hakusho is a good anime, therefore it's a good shonen. Hunter x Hunter is a good anime, good shonen. One Piece doesn't have a good anime, bad.
I disagree
Bleach,
on Hunter x Hunter having a good anime, and it's one of my hottest takes. But
I know, true. I mean, I think it's good, but
I think it's actually really bland visually, and it's just a panel adaptation. Well, my real hot take is,
I don't think that's quite true because like they don't adapt the exposition scenes aren't like a still shot of the character talking. Like they don't like
That's true.
Yeah, so at the very least in that way it's not.
Well, like, I also have some issues tonally, but I could talk more to you about, because have you seen Hunter x Hunter 2011?
I've watched it. I've watched it and I've read the manga one.
Okay, so
I'm not caught up.
Maybe when you finish it, when you do it for the Nin show, it'll be easier because it'll be like more fresh in your mind. But
yeah.
I have some issues tonally with 2011 that make me really interested to watch 1999 actually, because I think I will be of the galaxy-brained opinion that 1999 is the better Hunter x Hunter.
Because if you think about bland visuals like with 2011, then yeah, you'll probably like the. Though for me, see, I just like really hate the aesthetic of it because it's like I don't like the color palette. It's just so dark and dreary looking, and like the tone of it is kind of like that too. And I just don't like that aspect of it.
That's
at
my
all.
whole thing,
like,
is that I think that like that's kind of Hunter x Hunter's tone the whole time is very like, it's not like a happy-go-lucky thing like 2011 is until Chimera Ant, and I think because of that, like there's this major whiplash in 2011 that isn't actually in the manga at all.
See, and well, that's funny because Mathwiz actually likes that about 2011 because that's where she started, was the 2011 adaptation, and she liked that because like she liked that because yeah, the series all like well yeah, because like I mean you say that, but like at the same time, like how is that, like compare how the death is framed in York New to in the Hunter exam. Like the Hunter exam is people being eaten alive by monsters, but they're like it's done in like little comedy panels almost. It's like it's not important. These characters don't matter, even though people are dying on screen. Like yeah, you say it's like not happy-go-lucky, but it's not framing the death cinema compared to like where in York New, where you're seeing these guys being brutally gunned down by thieves. Like there is a tonal difference, you know.
No, I'm not. I mean, yeah, there's a tonal, but I still think that like from very early on, 2011, or not 2011, sorry, the manga, and from what I've seen, 1999 does this as well, poses the world as a much crueler and like a much darker place than it is in 2011, where like it is like kind of just like a happy fun place to go exploring in, and in like 2011 it focuses a lot more on like Gon's kind of fucked up, and like I think it because of that like the manga just kind of foreshadows things better.
Yeah, to finish what I was saying, because like Mathwas likes that, because in York you said up to Chimera Ant, but really it was also there in York New, which was also a darker arc. But like, yeah, even in the anime, but in the 2011 anime, I mean. But yeah, and that's one of the things she liked about the 2011, because like, yeah, because like I think what that is also part of the appeal to 2011, because like, so do you know Super Patch Wolf's backstory, YouTuber backstory?
No.
Okay, so basically the Super Best Friends, I guess I don't know what they do. I think it's Let's Plays podcast probably.
They do Let's Plays and podcasts. Yeah.
Yes. So Wooly was basically saying Hunter x Hunter is bad because he's only watched the '99 anime, and he didn't like it. Super Patch Wolf got kind of mad about it, and that's why he made his first video. Why you should watch Hunter x Hunter, because like he's seeing this popular podcast shitting on literally his favorite anime, and so he's like, I should make a video explaining why this is actually that good. I mean, the video wasn't that good especially in retrospect, but it got him popular, and he started his channel, and he's doing really well for himself,
Right.
And he's improved a lot. But like that way, he called Hunter x Hunter deconstruction. But he's also been doing. He did like 6 episodes of a little minute-long episode series called Gone in 60 Seconds, as in the main character.
Right.
Where he's actually watching Hunter x Hunter with Wooly. And like they're watching the 2011, like they watched, and then he gives his thoughts in literally like a minute, basically. So it's Gone in 60 seconds. So what did you think about Gone in the 60 seconds we just watched? And it's actually really funny, and because you don't see high energy Super Patch Wolf in his video, okay?
Right.
So like it's pretty fun for that reason, because they only have a minute. So, and one thing so when you get to see like Wooly, like he's starting to enjoy it, and the like one episode was fun because like Wooly's like, it's fine, but it's just anime, and Super Patch Wolf leans in, he's like, at this point, I also thought it was just anime, like, because like it, it's like, oh, this is normal and cool, and then it turns into something different, and I do think that leaves an impression on people,
Right. I'm gonna.
Do you want to try and do one more, or do you want to call it?
Yeah, I'll do one more because I want to hunt Bareth again because I need the stuff. But do you mind if we go like kill a couple, like 1 or 2 Kestodons really quickly?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
So it's like, so it's fair for you not to like it, but at the same time, I found who like it for the reasons you don't like it. Which is interesting. Yeah,
it is cool because like for me, like one of the biggest issues that like people say as praise of the show that it completely baffles me is when they say like, oh my god, every arc feels like it. Like I've heard legitimate praise for Hunter x Hunter 2011 that like every arc feels different. And like
I guess.
Because, like, a lot of the arcs do change a lot in tone, right? But, like, the manga, I feel, is way more consistent with that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because it's... So it's all... Yeah, I got
Right, so it's like the manga has like the whole like it's way more consistent throughout tonally, and like, you know, it like the world feels way more consistent than it does in 2011, where a lot of times it's like, oh, now it's all these different, you know what I mean?
I kind of get what you mean.
And so because of that, I just ended up enjoying the manga more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the manga is one of my favorites, so I completely understand, like, because 2011 is largely the same story, I get why people like 2011, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because it's a good story being adapted, and now anime good, you know?
Right. And I mean, I think the animation's really good, right? Like, the Gon Hisoka fight is,
It's cool, yeah.
yeah, oh my god, it literally dropped me immediately on him. I'm just gonna run away for a little bit.
Oh, let's hunt monsters. Oh, hello. Or let's hunt all monsters. And it's like you hunt Baroth.
It literally dropped me down, and I turn around, and he's just, like, walking up to me. I mean, yeah, like, I know that I'm largely of the unpopular opinion with,
that Hunter x Hunter is not, in fact, the greatest shonen of all time.
Well, not just that, because I do think it's one, like, that's the problem, is, like, you know, life was simpler when I could just say that I didn't like Hunter x Hunter, because then I could just be like, yeah, Hunter x Hunter's not good. But then my friend was like, no, you should read the manga, and then I read the manga, and now it's like, yeah, Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorite manga, but I just don't like 2011, which is, like, heresy. Like, people get so mad when they find that out. But again, I think it does come down a lot to, I mean, I guess it's different, because, like, I don't even
it's
say...
funny, as One Piece fans, we do live in a simpler world. It's like, wow, I don't like One Piece anime. Like, we just know the anime is not good, you know? So we don't have to, like, argue about which version's better because it's so fucking obvious.
Right.
Like...
Well, like, yeah, because, you know, I would say that, like, it's kind of what we were talking about earlier, where there's a difference between, like, you know, there's a difference between, like, something you can kind of quantifiably show as, you know, better or worse, and things that are just, like, a middle ground. But, like, my problem is that, like, I legitimately think that, like, Hunter x Hunter 2011 is, like, in some ways a subpar adaptation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that causes problems, because I can't just be like, well, you know, it's just my opinion. Because at the end of the day, my opinion is that, like, it isn't as, like, it has, like, flaws that, like, it adds issues that aren't present in the original.
Yeah.
Then again, I think that an anime of the Dark Continent arc would probably be more enjoyable than reading.
See, because I do think, like, the anime is really good with handling position. Because, like, yeah, it's not just, like, one character speaking for literally half an hour, you know? Because that's what it would fucking be with Togashi's word count, you know? So, you know, I think that's also a part of, I also think that that's also part of it, you know? Because there's a lot of words.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing about Hunter x Hunter, because, like, reading Yu Yu Hakusho, he has a lot of words even in Yu Yu Hakusho, but there's art to balance it out, so it doesn't seem nearly as like literally a page of it. Did you get your Keston stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like because see, Togashi is interesting, like, comparing Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, because, like, contrast is kind of a notable thing with his works, because, like, he'll have, like, action heavy stuff like Yusuke versus Chu was kind of like that, where, like, the whole climax was all pretty much without words. But then he'll do, like, Hisoka versus Krollo, where it's like words, you know. But then also Togashi's art is interesting, because, like, reading Yu Yu Hakusho, he'll do like, you know, everyone has, like, a super deformed style and then, like, a normal style, but right. Togashi also has, like, a hyper detailed style, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
so he has, like, and like because I don't think. Like, I can't think of, like One Piece is detailed, but, like, it's not, it's like, that's the normal. And then there's the, like, and not even that, like, hyper detailed, you know? Like, when Togashi gets detailed, he gets fucking detailed, you know? So thinking about that, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho, like, his art has always been kind of like, okay, where is the detail? Where is the simple, more deformed style, and where is the normal style? But Hunter x Hunter right now is the extreme of that, you know, because it's where is like the hyper detail, and where is literally I'm not gonna draw anything because that's my back is literally breaking, and that's too much work, you know. So that's what I think is kind of interesting about comparing Yu Yu Hakusho to Hunter x Hunter, because Hunter x Hunter just takes everything, like his style that he always had, and makes it more extreme because he physically can't do anything else. So I'm really curious about rereading Hunter x Hunter, having.
So I have one question in regards to the art. I don't know if you'll remember it, but I want to pose it to you now so that you can try to pay attention to it and see if you agree with me.
Okay.
So I think that Crollo in the Crollo Hisoka fight looks like a different fucking character than he does any other time you see him beforehand.
Maybe,
and he still looks different now. He looks like a fucking Muppet now, and he does not look like that at all in York New. Like, he looks like a normal, like, you know, kind of like attractive, charismatic guy. And then when I was reading the Crollo Hisoka fight, it was just taking me out of it, because, like, this man is fucking Gonzo. Like, what the fuck did Togashi do to his nose? And it, like, legitimately made me mad. Like...
See, I'm wondering if it looks different. Were you reading it weekly, or was this that like?
No. I got caught up to Hunter x Hunter.
So you read pretty much all Viz scans?
Yeah, like right before AX.
Okay, because I was wondering if it was redrawn, because it's a thing. Like,
No, I read manga the whole way through.
Or Viz, you mean?
Yeah, like the Viz manga scans, like the official English translation.
Not Manga Stream or whatever other group is scanning.
It didn't switch to Manga Stream until they got on the boat for me.
Gotcha. Which, I mean, you still want to, if you
I mean, I'm not current. I'm like 14 chapters behind, but I'll probably try to see if it's on the Viz app for the rest of what I have to catch up on.
Right, because because I've seen comparisons, and the Viz one is has I think that one infamous page on Manga Stream, it's like 500 words, and on Viz it's like 300 words. Huge difference.
Yeah.
So much more concise. But I don't know. Togashi's definitely interesting. Though I think, again, maybe not as far as like opinion, but like judgment wise, Bleach might be like really good, because it's just really interesting and cool. Like, there is no, I don't think there's a Jump author who's better with symbolism. Like, I don't think it's close, honestly. And then I think how he just the thematic structure of his story. I did like the themes, but thinking about how Bleach builds it. One thing Bleach seems to do more than anything I've read yet is the individual characters will have their kind of individual theme. Kurosuchi, it's perfection. With Ikaku, it was luck. With Kenpachi, it's pride. With Ichigo, it's understanding. And so when they show up in multiple arcs, they'll have their individual theme played against the main theme of the arc.
Right.
So it's and that I don't I even One Piece kind of has that in Enies Lobby, but even then I don't even know if it I wouldn't say it's no, Alabaster was another one that kind of did that, but it's not as what in Dressrosa can I say that for every of all those fights with all the Luffy Alliance? I don't think so. Kubo is just really good at handling his side cast, even if Mathwis doesn't like having fight after fight after fight, and she okay, yeah, she's a big fan of Togashi, right?
Mm-hmm.
She Dark Tournament is her least favorite arc in Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's funny.
She just right. It's gonna be fun because I liked it. It's my favorite arc, even though I have problems with it, and she doesn't like it very much. So she's maybe it's better than Maze Castle, and I'm like, ooh, because Maze Castle is just completely flatline boring to me, and so the fact that she's comparing them is.
Has she read the other thing, was it a rom-com that he did? Yeah. Has she read that?
No. That you're talking about the rom-com he did for Yu Yu Hakusho, right?
No.
Level E is the gag comedy he did between.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask about. Is the between?
He's had as I understand it, he's had 4 published manga. He did a rom-com that was one of those I think it was only 3 or 4 volumes. It was a failure. So then Yu Yu Hakusho, which was a massive fucking success. Then Level E, which kind of existed, and then Hunter x Hunter, which is a work in progress. Well, a really good work in progress, but it's not. I have
no idea what the fuck's going on with Hunter x Hunter. Because this might be the first year he like hasn't done chapters in forever.
He didn't do chapters at the beginning of the year, or did he do them like late last year?
From what I heard, they were late last year, and like there's been no talk of him coming back at all. So there could be no new Hunter x Hunter in 2019.
Yeah, because I think I've heard that there was like because during Chimera Ant there was a period year when he didn't release chapters, but he still didn't have a year like 20. It wasn't like 2007 or 2008 where he didn't have like it was like late one year and early the next year kind of thing, or no, the other way around, like early one year and then late the
right.
next. So
he had like a 365-day span, but there was never
a year where he had no chapters, right? And that's because like I think I've said it before, Togashi's been having health issues with his back since the year I was born. He was talking about it in Volume 6 of Yu Yu Hakusho. That volume came out in 1991. This man has had back problems my whole fucking life. Like,
right.
Jesus Christ, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like you want him to like, you know, get over it because you want, like, I want Hunter x Hunter to come out because I want to see.
Yeah, it's good. I want to see. He's worried about finishing in his lifetime because it's not necessarily probable.
Right.
And I mean Oda is too, but less because like he can't work. Oh, the broth scalp is over here. If you didn't.
No, because yeah, I got it.
Okay,
I was carving it as he died. No, because
gotcha.
if you ask Oda, One Piece has 7 years left.
He keeps saying 5. It's been 5 years since like the SBS during the Arlong Park, like asking where Fishman Island is, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll see it in like 5 years. And then if you ask him more, he's like, yeah, One Piece will end in 5 years. I think he just really wants to be done. A part of him, you know. Like,
look, I'm sure he wants it to be done, and I would completely believe that Oda wants to make another manga after One Piece. But he probably won't
funny.
because it'll be so old when it's done.
Because when he started, he was like, "Yeah, I want to do a mecha manga," and then like 10 years later, he's like, "You know, I think I'm gonna be like Toriyama and just do short things." So at one point, he realized like it's not, and there is no other manga after One Piece.
Right. I'm surprised Oda hasn't done more like Toriyama. Like, you know, Toriyama does all the art for Dragon Quest. He's done it for, you know,
yeah, well, because like Kubo just did Sakura Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but Oda hasn't done anything. Like he's done movies and like, it's all exclusively One Piece. Like he's never done anything that's not One Piece. I can't.
Yeah,
think.
I'm surprised that or maybe he turned it down.
He does. I mean, he does do the art tributes. Like I just saw his one for Food War, and he did one for Zetman actually. I think. He's done a couple for Dragon Ball, Naruto. You know, he does that kind of stuff, but that's, you know, other manga authors.
Right, that's what I mean,
too.
though, is like, I'm surprised he hasn't done, like, art for a game, or, like, art for, you know, something like that.
Maybe it's because Oda's style is, like, because Toriyama did Slump first, and then he did Dragon Ball. So it's like, even if... Really bad. So it's like, even if you're, like... And I think he even did Dragon Quest before Dragon Ball, so it's like...
Let me look that up.
What I just realized is like I think like yeah, Toriyama did do Dragon Ball, which is this really popular thing, but his art style has always had other major associations with it beyond Dragon. Where with One Piece, you know, it's a very One Piece style. Like you can't, if you see something in that style, you're gonna think One Piece because it's like it's such a distinct and pretty. It's a pretty unique style. So I don't think it's as like sellable unless it's One Piece kind of thing. Like we're compared that to Kubo and Sakura Wars, like Bleach. It's aesthetic as fuck, but like, you know, he's able to. It's also just a normal, like, you know, it takes place in a high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a normalness to it that you can see Kubo's art in other things and not be like, oh my god, it's Bleach. You know, even though you might have that on some level.
So I looked it up, and Dragon Ball started in 1984. Dragon Quest 1 came out in 1986. So.
Okay, so he'd already done Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but like even then, like, you know, he has done other things. And the reason I thought about it is because I've been playing Dragon Quest 11. Which is a great game, by the way. But
okay.
It's been like really noticeable that, like, you know, it's Toriyama's art style, which I actually really like. Like, it's making me want to read Dragon Ball more because I like Toriyama's art style a lot.
Yeah.
But it is like, very noticeable.
Okay.
And so it just makes me wonder, like, why don't more? Because, like, even did I tell you that Hiro Mashima has a costume in the game? The thief character for Dragon Quest XI Switch, I can pull it up, has a costume that was done that Hiro Mashima did the design for.
No. Okay. Interesting. Is the thief a girl?
No, he's a boy.
Okay, that's weird because Machima is known for drawing the women.
So
hot
here's what
women.
the character looks like normally. Oh wait, shit. Like here's what he looks like normally, and then here's the costume like in game, and then there's actually a picture of Hiro Mashima's drawing of it.
Okay. Oh. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's Hiro Mashima, right? Interesting.
So it was interesting to me that like that's super cool to me because it's Toriyama's art style and character design,
but done by Mashima, yeah.
in an outfit that Hiro Mashima made.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah.
So I'm ending the like I'm but
yeah, no, it's too late for you. You gotta go to bed. Go to sleep.
We've done a good 3 hours though.
Yeah. I am going to sign out. So yeah, good hunting. We got high rank. We beat up the low rank. We killed the dead, and we talked all the One Pieces and some other jump stuff.
We actually talked exclusively about like shonen manga this entire time.
Pretty much. Yeah. No. Why is shonen so good? This is a question that must be answered. Why is shonen so good? Like, I didn't even get to, because like, I've been having because kind of the thing I've been talking about where it's like you have to reread the thing where it's your favorite, but then like I have Plunderer as the favorite even though I've only read it once, and I've been having doubts like, is it a favorite? And then I read the new chapter and I got fucking teary-eyed over like the ugliest motherfucker in the manga, and it was so good, and I'm like, okay, yeah,
right.
Favorite. Anyway, we'll catch you later.
Yeah,
good hunting.
All right, before everyone leaves, hold on. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I appreciate it. Some of y'all have been in here like the whole time, and that's really cool. I appreciate y'all a lot. It was a fun stream. I'm glad we got to do the Monster Hunter streams again. I don't know when we'll get to it again. I'll say it on Twitter. I'm sure we'll put it in the craft server when we do another Monster Hunter stream. I'm probably going to do some grinding off stream so that we can just kind of do more like quests on stream. But I am gonna stream probably like tomorrow and Sunday, maybe at least one of those 2 days. Because I'm doing my Resident Evil replay. I even have it right here. I'm playing through. I think about halfway into Resident Evil 1 right now. If I stream tomorrow and I finish Resident Evil 1 and then I stream on Sunday, I'm going to start the 2 remake. Again, so just a quick note because there are more people here than were last time I streamed. Because it's October and Resident Evil is my favorite horror video game series, I'm playing through every Resident Evil game. I'm calling it replay with a capital RE because I think I'm funny. I'm skipping 3 because there isn't a legal way for me to stream 3 since I don't have a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 1. So I could play it on my Vita, but I can't stream that to y'all. So I'm just skipping 3 because technically you're not allowed to emulate on stream. So I'm doing 1, 2. I'm doing 1 on PS4, 2 on two on PC, the remake. I'm gonna do 4 on PS4, 5 I'm doing on PS4 as well. But 5 is really interesting because since that's a co-op game, I'm having my buddy come over. Like one of my best friends who's never been on stream before. He said he wanted to stream with me sometime, and we're going to play 5 together. Then I'm going to do 6, and then I'll do 7, which 7 I've actually never beat because I wasn't super into it the first time I played it, but I'm interested to replay it and see if I like it more. So I hope to have all that done by at least Halloween because obviously I'm buying Luigi's Mansion on the 31st, and I want to stream that if I can. So we'll have to see if that's possible, but I want to try to finish all the games this month. So yeah, basically the thing is come out. Thank you guys for coming out to this one. If that sounds interesting, me playing the Resident Evil games, you can come hang out. I think it's pretty fun because they're cool games. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it a lot. I'll see y'all another time.